Bishop Lynch, and a top 10 matchup to boot. Tonight, Thursday Night Lights is a bit of a misnomer. We're taking a spin through the private school scene. The view is pretty spectacular. Two of TAP's best, Bishop Lynch and Parish Episcopal, in a crucial game for playoff positioning. The Friars host Preston Stone and the Panthers. Thursday Night Lights on the WFAA Digital Network, sponsored by Texas Health Resources. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rufino Stadium on the Bishop Lynch campus. Mike Leslie joined by Sean Giggy this week. And Sean, we've got two very, very good football teams with a lot of high-quality college talent on the roster.
Yeah, and when it comes to high-quality college talent, look at Parish Episcopal offense and Preston Stone, the quarterback, who in some recruiting services is listed as the number one dual-threat quarterback in the entire nation. It's going to be exciting to see him tonight, but also what that Bishop Lynch defense can do to slow him down.
No doubt. These are two of really the brand names in private school, Texas high school football. Bishop Lynch, a team that won a state championship just a few years ago, lost in the state title game a year ago. Parish Episcopal also has state championships to its name. So these are two programs that people are used to seeing on big scenes in the high school football world. And this year, once again, very good football teams. Lynch, as I mentioned, last year played for a state title, but have lost a good bit from that football team. Several kids transferred out, and they also were hit pretty hard by graduation. So they're trying to figure out who they are in 2019.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean the well is dry. They still have plenty of talent, but of course, as Coach Price for Bishop Lynch said, that you look on the other side of the field, Parish Episcopal, he just does not see a weakness. And so he said his team, as inexperienced and as much as they lost this year, they're going to have to be very minimally mistake-free to try and come out of here with a win and take control in this district race.
Yeah, trying to take on a Parish Episcopal team that is red hot, coming in 5-1 on the year, outscoring their opponents on average 39 to 13 on average. Last week won 37-14 against the defending state champion Bishop Dunn. So let's get you our players to watch for this evening. Sean mentioned him a moment ago. First for Parish Episcopal, their quarterback Preston Stone. For Bishop Lynch, it's defensive end Aiden Howard. Let's start with Stone, four-star recruit. And as you mentioned, some recruiting services have him as the number 2 dual-threat quarterback in the junior class. Some have him as number 1. Either way, absurdly talented.
Yeah, his head coach, Daniel Novikov, said he's like Johnny Manziel, athletic, but has the brain of Peyton Manning. He said he could be valedictorian if he puts in all the work. He's that smart of a kid. And to have someone as athletic as Manziel, Johnny Football, and the brains of Peyton Manning, that's a pretty high compliment. And you can see it when you watch the tape. It's not just these short throws, but he is able to make the downfield passes accurately, on time, and that is what makes him so dangerous.
The man who's going to be chasing him around as much as anybody tonight is Bishop Lynch defensive end Aiden Howard. Big, powerful, can bull his way through offensive linemen, but also has the speed to chase down running backs and quarterbacks. They need him to get to Preston Stone tonight, though, and create some havoc in that backfield for this Parish Episcopal offense. Starters this evening, let's start with the Episcopal offense. Of course, Preston Stone leads the way for that group, but 3 running backs in the backfield that all see time in a variety of other positions as well, because they're just too talented to not put them on the field. Christian Benson and Caleb Culp as well, not listed as a starter, but we'll see a lot of the field. 3 wide receivers set and a big and talented offensive line, and nasty offensive line, as Daniel Novikov calls it. The defense for Parish Episcopal, Andrew Merrick and Keegan Addison in the middle certainly lead the way with this unit, the 2 middle linebackers, and Blake Burris, 6'5", 265 pounds at that defensive end spot. Big, fast, physical, and very athletic. Offensively for Bishop Lynch, Michael Light, the quarterback. Darius Boyd, a transfer from Parish Episcopal, is the starting running back for Bishop Lynch. 3 wide receivers on the outside, but this is certainly a team that likes to run the football behind a big and talented and physical offensive line. Defensively for Bishop Lynch, a 4-3 set. Aiden Howard, we mentioned him before. Caleb Williams on the opposite side, the other defensive end, does it in a different way. He's more the speed rusher. Both of them trying to get home to the quarterback and do so with an awful lot of ease. Logan Monroe, Austin Bell, Justin Bell, the linebackers. They play more of a 4-2-5 set, though, and the Bell brothers are maybe kind of on that hybrid, in a hybrid sense, linebacker linebacker, defensive back, kind of a rover type. Certainly Justin Bell fits that role. And four defensive backs led by Dylan Monsieur, the free safety. Head coaches tonight for Parish Episcopal, Daniel Novikov in his third year, 20-12 in that span, and Bishop Lynch's head coach, Greg Price, his first year with the program, 3-3 early on this season. These are two of the best private schools in the state. Parish Episcopal and Bishop Lynch, state title contenders squaring off. Kickoff next on the WFAA Digital Network. The state, according to Max Preps, amongst all private schools, Bishop Lynch, for their part, ranked number 9 in the state amongst private schools. And these two teams squaring off here tonight on senior night. Captains for Parish Episcopal: Preston Stone, Noah Love, Caleb Culp, Alejandro Garcia, and Blake Burris. As for Bishop Lynch, Aiden Howard, Logan Monroe, Isaac Chavez, and Joe Shore. Bishop Lynch won the toss and deferred to the second half, so it will be Parish Episcopal with the ball first, which means our first opportunity to see Mr. Preston Stone, number 2, the quarterback for Parish Episcopal, the number 1 rated dual threat quarterback in the country for the class of 2021, according to Rivals, number 2 in the country, according to 24/7 Sports. Depends on who you trust, but either way, really, really talented kid, Sean. Somebody we get a chance to see tonight, and a kid that Bishop Lynch gets a chance to at least attempt to slow down. Opening kickoff right now is Blaine Ritter is set to kick it away. Caleb Culp and Daniel Demery deep to return, as is Christian Benson. This one goes out of bounds, though, and it will be good field position. And a little bit of extracurriculars after the play toward midfield. No flags thrown, and it will be a 35-yard line start for Preston Stone and company. And
you mentioned how good of a quarterback Preston Stone is, but what's kind of remarkable to hear was Bishop Lynch head coach Greg Price say that they want to make Episcopal one-dimensional and make them throw the ball. When you have a quarterback that good, it's surprising that you want to make him throw the ball, but that's what they want to do. They want to try and take that run game away because they have a pretty good defensive line, although the Bishop Lynch secondary has had some question marks this year. They're a little bit young and lack the experience back there, so they're going to have to play kind of loose and not give up those big plays, try to keep everything in front of them and make sure they make tackles and don't let these receivers behind them.
Talking with Matt Faulkner, the offensive coordinator from Parish Episcopal, before the game, he said that he needs for Preston Stone and their entire offense to be patient tonight, because just like you're saying, the defensive backs will give space. They can throw the stop route all the way down the football field if they want to. They need to be patient enough to allow themselves to do that. They are going to throw deep down the left sideline, though, on the first play, and that is complete in the hands of Gabe Walls, and just like that, Parish Episcopal across midfield.
Yeah, 25-yard gain right there. Already seeing right off the bat what Preston Stone can do. Gabe Gabe Walls with 11 catches on the year. That make that 12 right there. He's got a couple touchdowns and already passed midfield after the out-of-bounds kickoff and the nice pass there from Stone.
Quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Stone comes, and he's going to throw on the second first down of the day. Throws on the near side. That's Christian Benson sitting down at the 35-yard line, and yet another first down for Parish Episcopal. This offense is very, very dangerous. We've talked about the talent that Preston Stone is. You're seeing it already through just 2 plays tonight.
Yeah, and so far they're throwing the ball, which is what Coach Price wanted for Bishop Lynch, but big gains.
This time they're going to run it in the hands of Caleb Culp, and they're able to cut him down after a pickup of maybe 2 yards. You'll see an awful lot tonight of Christian Benson, Corin Lynch, and Caleb Culp. All 3 of them technically are running backs for this Parish Episcopal football team, but all 3 of them have the capabilities to play elsewhere on the football field as well. So they will have those 3 on the football field as much as possible because they are 3 of their best players. This time they're going to throw over the middle, complete, breaking a tackle, and inside the 10-yard line goes Evan Green. Finally hauled down inside the 5, and it's first and goal, Parish Episcopal.
You're seeing already from Preston Stone what makes him such a special player. The thing is, his coach says he's like Johnny Manziel athletically. We haven't even gotten to see that yet. So far, he's doing the damage with his arm.
In shotgun on first and goal, handoff goes to Caleb Culp, fighting his way up the middle, maybe a pickup of a yard or 2, but short of the goal line. Looks like they're going to mark him up to 2, and it'll be second and goal. Culp also a starter on the defensive side of the football. Very talented kid. Maybe the best true football player on this Parish Episcopal roster. Of course, Preston Stone, the most highly recruited player you'll see this evening, but Culp brings a lot to the table. Second and goal, Stone in shotgun again. Handoff, and this time very quickly in the backfield. Nice defensive play. Caleb Williams knifing in off the edge and cutting him down for a loss, and it will be third and goal from about the 5-yard line.
So far, the few run plays that Episcopal has run, the Bishop Lynch front line has stood up so far, just like Coach Price has wanted. But the passing game hitting on all cylinders so far for Stone, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go to it here on third down and goal.
From the 5-yard line, he's got 3 wide receivers to the near side of the formation, all on the bottom of your screen there. Stone throws to the far side, and that's a touchdown in the hands of Evan Green. Wide open on the edge, and Parish Episcopal goes in front.
That's Green's 7th touchdown on the year. He has been Stone's favorite target this year, leading all those receivers with touchdowns on the year so far. And just barely a little over 2 minutes into the game, and we already have the first score.
6-0 in favor of Parish Episcopal. Out for the PAT comes Reed Boistier, the senior kicker for Parish Episcopal. Out of the hold of the sophomore Gabe Grubbs. 2 minutes and 12 seconds in, and Parish up on top already. Bishop Lynch now will try and find an answer from down 7-0 as Boistier puts it through. Beg your pardon, no good, they're saying. Did he miss it wide to the left?
Must have. I thought it looked like it went through.
Thought he snuck it inside the upright, but no sir. 6-0.
We're both. We've got some kind of columns here in the press box blocking view, so we're both having to lean forward, and our view apparently, or our eyeballs are not very good.
Take a look back at Preston Stone's touchdown pass to Evan Green, the senior wide receiver, his 7th touchdown reception of the year. 29 receptions, 421 yards, and 6 TDs coming into the season, the leading target for Preston Stone. Stone, a kid that's still just a junior. We mentioned it before, class of 2021, so still has a senior year left to be played here at Parish Episcopal, but the numbers that he has put up over the course of his first 3 years are eye-popping, to be sure. His freshman year had 29 touchdown passes and nearly 3,000 yards and only 7 interceptions. You got a 29-7 touchdown to interception ratio as a high school freshman on the varsity level. You're doing something right. Last year as a sophomore, 44 touchdown passes and only 4 interceptions. This year he's combined for now 21 touchdowns, 18 passing, 3 rushing. And only 3 interceptions so far this season. So a very efficient, a very effective quarterback is Preston Stone, and we saw that all the way down the football field on the opening drive of the game. Now Bishop Lynch has to try and find an answer.
Yeah, there's a reason Stone is as a film crew for a reality show following him around right now. When you're a high school junior and you have a film crew following you around, you know you're pretty special. But he seems to be a kid that doesn't let that go to his head. He's kind of used to the cameras around him now. He just goes out there and plays. He's got the right head on him, according to Coach Novikov.
So Bishop Lynch now trying to find an answer. Michael Light, the quarterback, rolling out to the right-hand side, throwing on the near side and dropped right through the hands of Matt McLaughlin, the junior wide receiver.
And this is what Coach Price was afraid of. He said, our passing game just has not clicked. Sometimes the throws are there, but the receivers aren't. Sometimes the receivers are where they need to be, the throws aren't, and sometimes we don't block well. And you saw it right there. That was a good throw by Michael Light, just dropped out there on the far side. And that was what Price was worried about. If they cannot get this passing game going, he's hoping that things start clicking this week for them.
The run game, meanwhile, has certainly been effective for this Bishop Lynch offense. Darius Boyd on the season, nearly 1,000 yards already, 957 yards on the year, and trying to add to it here on 2nd down and 10. Second leading rusher in the state in amongst private school teams. Actually a transfer from Parish Episcopal. Played on this Panthers team a year ago for the last couple of years, but transferred over here to Bishop Lynch for his senior year, replacing a very talented kid in Charles Crawford who was all-state last year on this Bishop Lynch team that went all the way to the state championship game, losing to Bishop Dunn 13-9. So 3rd down and 8 now for this Bishop Lynch offense. This is where things can get a little bit tricky if they do try to go to the air. They try to run for it, though, on 3rd and 8, and they put the football on the deck. Fumble picked up by Parish Episcopal. It's Panther football deep in Bishop Lynch territory, just over 3 minutes into the football game, and the Panthers in business.
And that's exactly what you do not need if you're Bishop Lynch.
That was off the handoff. He didn't even really get the handoff clean.
Yeah,
that ball bounced around, scooped up on the fumble. Kenneth Borders, the rover for this Episcopal defense, scooping it up. And the last thing you want to do is give Preston Stone a short field.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need only 27 yards to get to the end zone, because we saw how quickly, in just over 2 minutes, they made it to the end zone on their last drive. So this is a gift right here. See if this Bishop Lynch defense can make up for that mistake.
8:56 to play here. First quarter on Thursday Night Lights. A little bit of a misnomer tonight as we're playing on a Friday, and this looks like touchdown number 2 it is. Into the end zone goes Caleb Culp on the reception from Preston Stone, and a very quick start for the Parish Episcopal offense.
Yeah, you can see right here. There were a few guys open up in the middle. You can see a couple of them there, but Culp, just nobody near him, and then all he needed, I don't even know that he needed that block. He had a lot of space just to get to the end zone there. It's Culp's 2nd touchdown on the year.
1 minute and 1 second after Parish Episcopal scored their first touchdown of the game, they score their 2nd touchdown of the evening. And on homecoming, Bishop Lynch already in a big hole.
Yeah, they're really going to have to get that ground game going. Coach Price said he is a ground-first guy. That extra point this time is good, Mike. I did not watch the ball. I watched the officials' arms this time.
Reed Boyster putting it up and through, and it's 13-0. Parish Episcopal in front here in the early going. You mentioned Preston Stone with his reality show. He's being followed by the Sports Digital Network Overtime is featuring Stone in a reality show / documentary, whatever you want to call it. Episodes every 2 weeks. The next one comes out on Sunday, this coming Sunday the 20th. The network also spotlighting Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback at Trinity Christian Cedar Hill. Those two teams actually played the opening week of the season. Stone ran for a touchdown in overtime to win 33-27 in that game. Broadcast on ESPNU. 2 of the best quarterbacks in the entire country, both being heavily spotlighted by the Overtime Network, and for good reason. Stone already with 2 touchdown passes here just in the first 3 minutes and change. You saw a little bit of a fake onside kick there from Reed Boyster and company, but they do line back up and get set to kick the ball away in a more natural sense, and they do indeed do just that. This one a little bit of a shorter kick. This will force a return from Bishop Lynch as they bring it across the 15-yard line and taken down at about the 18. That's Isaiah Schmidtke with the return, and Bishop Lynch with another opportunity. And to your point, Sean, this is where they need to run the football, eat up some clock, give their defense a chance to kind of catch their breath because they've been run a little bit ragged here in the early going, and try and chunk the football down the field a little bit. Officials timeout for a player down on the field. I haven't gotten a chance to see who that is just yet.
I saw a 0, but I don't see the other half of the number. Of course, always in these situations, you hope everyone's okay out here. You know, as we were talking about developing or establishing the run game, I was kind of surprised that Coach Price and Bishop Lynch came out and threw right on the first pass of the game, because he said he's got the run-first mentality and he wants to establish the run early. As we see the injured player get up.
It's Anthony DiBiase, one of the wide receivers for this Bishop Lynch football team. Looks to be at least somewhat under his own power, although he's, I say that, not really. He's keeping that right foot up off the ground. He's being
no weight
more than
on that
anything carried off, and he'll go into the medical tent, so we'll keep an eye on that. But it would seem we won't see Anthony DiBiase for a little while here tonight. 8:40 to play. First quarter here at Rufino Stadium on the campus of Bishop Lynch. 13-0 here in the early going. The number 2 team in the state, according to Max Prep's rankings. Parish Episcopal 5-1 on the year. A lot of teams, a lot of people's number 1 team, number 1 private school in the state is Trinity Christian Cedar Hill. They do have a loss this year, as we were talking about it before. It's to this Parish Episcopal football team. So Parish is arguably the best private school in the state. They got a free play here. They're running it, though. It's going to be offsides on big number 99, the defensive end for Parish Episcopal, Blake Burris, 6'5", 265 pounds. So when he gets going downhill, kind of hard for him to stop. And he draws the flag, and that'll be a free 5 yards for this Bishop Lynch offense. A little bit of assistance they could use at the moment as they try and get something going here on drive number 2 of the day.
Yeah, and they're good. I know we've talked about the run, and the run-first mentality, but they are going to have to get that pass going eventually. Michael Light only threw for 30 yards last week in a loss to Nolan Catholic. They're averaging less than 100 yards passing per game, so obviously they love to run the football, but Coach Price, Bishop Lynch, said this Parish Episcopal team has no glaring weakness. He said they're not going to kill you at any one spot, but they have no weaknesses. And when a team has no weaknesses, you have to take advantage of every snap, every play out here.
A little bit of a confusing message there from our lead official this evening, Thomas Poors, the referee. He initially signaled an encroachment against Blake Burris and the Parish Episcopal defense, then signaled a false start against the offense. The ball never moved.
Yeah, I'm not sure what.
It's first and 10 all over again. Now maybe they're about to move the football. The officiating crew's having some difficulties here early on in the football game. Thomas Poor, our referee, Bill Walker, the umpire tonight, the two of them talking things over, and I believe now they've got a conclusion, and they're going to say it's going to be a false start against this Bishop Lynch offense, so it'll be 1st and 15. After all of that, it's finally sorted out, and back to the line of scrimmage comes Michael Light and company.
So, not what they wanted as we
not even a little bit. Handoff goes to Darius Boyd. Nice cut up field to get close to the 20-yard line and back to the original line of scrimmage to pick up the 5. This Bishop Lynch team, the last couple of years has been very, very talented. Their coach, they had a coaching change in the offseason. The head coach now is Greg Price. In the offseason, in the midst of that coaching change, some of the players that were part of the previous program decided to transfer out as Light throws on the far side. That ball's too tall over the outstretched hands of Matt McLaughlin and incomplete, so it'll be 3rd down now and about 10. So some key players for this team transferred out. Caden Salter was the starting quarterback last year on that state title game team. He transferred to Cedar Hill. Charles Crawford, the starting running back, an all-state kid, ran for almost 1,800 rushing yards last year. He transferred out to Mesquite Horn. Jack Bradley, their big tight end, 6'6". He graduated and is now at Rice. So a lot of key players for this team that last year helped them to the state championship game, no longer a part of this team, and they're trying to figure out exactly what they are star here in 2019 as the handoff goes on a little bit of a misdirection here to Darius Boyd, and Boyd's got the first down and then some. Out to the 35 as he lowers his shoulder. A little misdirection from the Bishop Lynch offense. The first down.
And that is what they want from Darius Boyd. He is their go-to guy. He's already, by the end of this game, I think he'll be a 1,000-yard rusher for the year. He had 957 coming in, so that puts him within about 30 right now of breaking that 1,000-yard barrier. And if he can get those chunks like that, that is really going to help them out, especially eat that time on the clock and not put the ball back in Preston Stone's hands.
Handoff here on 1st and 10 goes up the middle. Not a whole lot of room for Will Auger. That's the fullback for this Lynch offense. They throw him a bone every once in a while in the run game, but certainly the primary blocker for Darius Boyd has clearly had success in that regard, as they've, as you mentioned, nearly racked up 1,000 yards for Darius Boyd this season. You'll see a little bit of Isaiah Schmidtke as well in the backfield. Sophomore running back that they see as really the future for them at that running back position. A little movement on the defensive line as Michael Light drops back to pass once again. Throws on the far side, complete in the hands of Jordan Burnett. Just shy of the stick, so it'll be 3rd down and about 2, looks like.
Burnett's 3rd catch on the year there. As we said, they're not a big passing team, so it's good to get these guys involved early, see if they can get some things going. Coach said Burnett has great hands.
Showed it off there on 2nd down and about 8. Now 3rd and, they'll call it 3. Have to get to the 47-yard line on their own side of the field. More pre-snap motion from the defensive line. That may the ball on the deck again. Darius Boyd, did he put the ball on the deck again? Bishop Lynch thinks they have it, and it's apparently still a live football. Out of the pile with it comes Keegan Addison. He's still on his feet. Parish Episcopal somehow coming up with a loose ball that for a long time there, a lot of the players on the field did not realize was a live football. Keegan Addison, I believe, had the ball lateral to him out of the fray. And Parish Episcopal, again, coming up with a loose football. Let's take a look at the replay and see exactly what happened here. Boyd got hit hard. Ball was definitely out. How this play wasn't whistled dead, though, I'm not sure. Caleb Culp had it in his hands for a moment. Blake Burris had it for a moment. He laterals it out of the pile into the hands of Keegan Addison. And now, once again, Parish Episcopal's offense set up with a very short field at the Bishop Lynch 38.
Yeah, it looked like it was Andrew Merrick, the senior linebacker, coming in there to get a hand on the ball and knock it loose. 2nd turnover on the 2nd possession for Bishop Lynch.
Halfway through this first quarter, Preston Stone with his first running play of the day, taking it himself and getting to the outside. Stone trying to get to the corner. Stone, hesitation, dives to the pylon, touchdown, Parish Episcopal. 38 yards on the run, and Stone makes it a 3-score game.
Oh, and that's the first time we've seen him carry the ball tonight, and that is exactly what frustrated Greg Price of Bishop Lynch. He was, kind of joking a little bit in jest with this. Gosh, that kid is frustrating, but as you see right here, him breaking through a group of people here, staying on his feet. He's just so elusive. He's not the fastest guy. He's not going to wow you.
This little hesitation move at the end of the play was brilliant, to wait for the little bit of the massive humanity to clear and dive into the end zone. Now they've got a little swinging gate out on the field and a flag before the play can begin.
And that's what you said, that move, that hesitation was brilliant right there. His Coach Novikov, saying he's got the intelligence of Peyton Manning, which is very high praise. We know how studious Peyton Manning is of the game, but just to see things on the field and see where the holes are going to open up, allow that to happen and develop in front of them to cut back and get into the end zone. It's just, as you said, brilliant.
Had a procedural penalty there against Parish Episcopal as they tried to run the swinging gate and run for a 2-point conversion. Instead, they'll line up and kick the extra point now. Gabe Grubbs, their holder, is also one of their wide receivers and also a key player on the defensive side of the football as well, one of their cornerbacks that works in a rotation. So certainly a good athlete who can do some things with the football in his hands, but this time they do decide to kick the extra point, and it's up and through off the foot of Reed Boyster. 20-0 to start for Parish Episcopal. 6 minutes and 13 seconds in, and Preston Stone has thrown for 2 scores and run for another. The 38-yard touchdown run makes it 20-0 Panthers halfway through quarter number 1.
I'd say that's not too bad. 2 touchdown passes. And a rushing touchdown so far.
My apologies, Sean. If you guys could see the setup that we have this evening, it's our equipment is a little tight in the press box here at Bishop Lynch, and we have what's called a cough drop. It's a button that you hit if you have to cough, and they're right next to each other. And I managed to hit Sean's while he was talking while I was coughing. So you heard me cough instead of hearing him continue to talk.
Don't lie. You're just
because these things happen sometimes.
You're just getting sick of hearing me. Don't lie. It's just your way of shutting me up. I know what it is.
Good atmosphere here, though, tonight at Bishop Lynch. 2 good football teams, and certainly we're seeing a very, very strong start from this Parish Episcopal squad. Arguably the best private school in the entire state, and they are putting it to Bishop Lynch right now on homecoming. Boyster set to kick it away. Dylan Monsieur fumbles the kickoff there momentarily, picks it back up, and nowhere to go. It has not been a clean start for Bishop Lynch in any way, shape, or form. They have put the football on the deck now twice. That was nearly another fumble, and now here comes Dylan Monsieur out of the pile, limping a little bit on his way back to the sideline. It has been anything but an ideal start for this Bishop Lynch team. Offensively, defensively, special teams, you name it. They have struggled through the first 6 minutes and change.
And I know, obviously, as a fan of the Friars, this isn't something you want to see them starting this slow, but Coach Price was telling us earlier that they've had a tendency where they start these games slow, and then the second half they pick it up quite a bit.
Light coming to the near side, throws incomplete. Matt McLaughlin diving to try and make the catch, couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, Coach Price said in that, for example, in that Ennis game, they played Ennis, they were down 34-10, I believe, at half. And they shut them out in the second half to win 41-34. So, I mean, that one was way out of hand at halftime, but they came back to win. So as much as this is kind of starting to get out of hand early, you just make the adjustments, focus on not turning the ball over, doing what you need to do, and get yourself back in this game slowly. And it starts with not fumbling the football. They cannot give Episcopal extra possessions.
They've already done that twice as this pass comes on the near side. That was a forward pass, just barely. An incompletion and 3rd down and 10. Twice now they've already put the football on the deck and given Preston Stone and his offense a short field. And very quickly, both times on one play, Parish Episcopal into the end zone to take a 13-0 and now 20-0 lead. It's just the exact thing you cannot do against a team that is as talented as Parish is. And as a result, here's Bishop Lynch in a very large hole in the early going.
And if nothing else right here, I think we have a timeout. I didn't see who called that one.
The officials still sorting things out. No, it certainly looked like they were signaling timeout. The officials are sorting things out. It's a sideline warning against this Parish Episcopal team. Well, no penalty at the moment. If they assess that again, then it would be an actual flag.
If you don't pick up the first down right here for Lynch, you want to at least get some yards, give your punter at least a little more space to try and...
Light's going to throw for it on the near side, and it's incomplete. Trying to find Weston Walls on the near side, the senior tight end.
This is what Coach Price has talked about a lot. You've seen it. There's been a couple times that Michael Light has had that pressure in his face pretty quickly, and he hasn't had that time to throw. Right there, it just didn't look like him and the receiver were on the same page. He let the ball go early. The receiver hadn't made his turn toward the sideline, and just the ball beat him there. And that's what he talked about a lot. We just haven't been on the same page. The pieces are there. We just need to put them together.
First punt of the evening. Bishop Lynch up with Blaine Ritter to punt it away. Down 20-0 here in the opening quarter. Defense absolutely needs to make a play as this is a short line drive punt. Checks up at the 42-yard line. Culp trying to decide whether or not he wanted to pick up the football. Ultimately decided not to. It's Caleb Culp, number 19, kind of dancing with the football there for a moment. And yet again, a very short field for Preston Stone and company. They got the ball on the 27-yard line, one play, touchdown pass to Caleb Culp, 13-0. Yet another fumble, get the ball on the 38-yard line. Preston Stone, one play, ran it into the end zone, 20-0. And now here they go on the 42-yard line on Bishop Lynch's side of the field. Once again, Stone and company with the football and looking to add to what is already a large lead.
Again, we're not even 7 minutes into the game here, and this is already getting to be a deep hole for Lynch to climb out of.
Stone flushed out of the pocket and taken down from behind. Buzz Jurdy coming through to finish him off. It won't technically go down as a sack, as Lynch did get back to the line of scrimmage, may have actually gained about a half a yard, but a good defensive play by this Bishop Lynch defense. Initially hit by Justin Bell, and then Jurdy came through to finish him off.
I was going to say, not a lot. He didn't lose yardage, but that's a win for the Bishop Lynch defense to keep him to the original line of scrimmage.
This time the handoff goes up the middle for a few in the hands of Corin Lynch, their starting tailback. Lynch on the year, just shy of 500 rushing yards and 7 TDs. Already creeping up on his full total from last season, though, as a junior. He, Culp, and Benson, as I mentioned before, will all work in concert in the run game as well as in the passing game. Here on 3rd down and 6, it's going to be a 5 wide receiver set for Benson.
Free play.
And he's going to go deep down the field. Incomplete. Flag flew, as you mentioned. It was a free play and an opportunity to go deep for Preston Stone to try and find Evan Green. They couldn't connect, but that'll make 3rd and 6 into 3rd and 1.
Yeah, and that's good recognition by Stone to recognize that was an offside and just go for the home run play there.
Green elevated, tried to high point the football, couldn't quite haul it in. Officials still sorting things out, finally moving the football out to the 34-yard line on Bishop Lynch's side of the field. So 3rd down and 6 becomes what is, I think, more realistically 3rd and 2.
Yeah, it looks,
I think 3rd and
a
7.
long one.
This is a must stop if you're Bishop Lynch's defense. You need to make a play here and get Preston Stone and company off the football field. 4:10 to play, first quarter, 20-0. Stone and his team on top. He'll throw for it on 3rd and 2. Complete on the near side, first down. Ducking out of bounds is Evan Green, and they'll move the sticks.
And again, that's just being aware of where the chains are, getting past them, making the completion, getting the first down, living another down.
Mike Leslie and Sean Giggy here with you on the WFA Digital Network, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and WFA.com. If you're watching on Facebook, please drop a note in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're tuning in to see. We always get comments from people that are watching from California and Ohio and New York and wherever the case may be, tuning in to watch nephews and grandsons. So let us know where you're watching from and who you're tuning in to see tonight as Stone rolls on the near side. He's got traffic from behind, and he's taken down in the backfield. Aiden Howard finishing him off. Howard and Ben Van Way combining for the sack, and that is a legitimate sack. A loss of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and long.
It's exactly what you need if you're Bishop Lynch. You got to try and keep Episcopal out of the end zone here.
Aiden Howard now with 4 sacks on the year. On 2nd and 13 on the near side, they completed to Benson. Traffic in front of him, but he's able to dance around it for a moment. Still on his feet as he gets out to the 32. All of that goes for maybe a gain of a yard.
I'm not sure if he got anything. I think he just got back to the line of scrimmage. So another win here. You have a 3rd and long. Last time they had a 3rd and long. They had that offsides. Be smart here, time the snap, and get a stop, get the ball back. With some positive momentum here for the Friars.
They'll call it 3rd and 12 here as we get close to 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. 3 wides to the far side of the formation. Stone at a shotgun. Deep over the middle, complete. First down. Jai Moore with the first down reception. And Episcopal into the red zone.
I mean, as you watch this right here, just putting it on a rope to his receiver right across the middle. That is just a heck of an arm from Stone.
So now they're in the red zone once again. 1st and 10 from about the 12-yard line. Handoff up the middle for Corin Lynch. Lynch trying to backtrack, coming back to the near side of the field. Now another cutback. Flag is down, still on his feet, dragging players into the end zone. I don't think this is going to stand, but what a run from Corin Lynch to get into the end zone. There's a flag back on the 19-yard line. You imagine a hold is going to bring this back the way that play developed. Could theoretically have also been a face mask. We'll see what the officials rule here, but
the 13-yard run, and I think he ran about 40 on that one.
Preston Stone bringing his offense together here as we wait for a word from Thomas Poore. Got a legal block in the back against this Parish offense, so it will indeed pull the touchdown off the board, and it will set up 2nd down. Beg your pardon, a repeat of 1st down, but 1st and long. Either way, that was a ridiculous run from Corin Lynch, but had a little extra help from his friends, and they'll bring it back and do 1st down all over again.
And Coach Price of Bishop Lynch, when he was scouting them, he said Corin Lynch runs the ball like he's never going to get the chance to run again in his life. And you saw it right there. It ran like this is the last carry he's ever going to get in his career. Was not going down on that one until he got to the end zone.
There's not much you can say better about a running back than that. And we saw it on full display right there. So it'll be 1st and 20 now, outside the red zone. Stone, near side, complete for Evan Green. Lynch rallies and makes the tackle at about the 14, so not quite back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down at about 11.
Evan Green is Mean Joe Green's grandson.
Yes, he is.
Wonder if he's as mean, or if he drinks Coca-Cola.
Daniel Novikov said he's a burner. He can absolutely play. I mean, when you got those kinds of bloodlines, you should be a football player. Stone rolling near side on 2nd down and 11. Throws it in the end zone. Touchdown. No flags on this one.
I think Gabe Walls, he's over there celebrating, but I think he might be a little upset. He was just standing in the corner of the end zone, wide open. I don't know if Stone just didn't see him or he just wanted a more impressive throw. It's not like he had to fit it into a tight window there. He waited till his man got open, but Walls was wide open in the corner of the end zone. And either way, touchdown. Waiting on the extra point, going to make it 27-0, and just under 2 minutes to go in the 1st.
Boyster puts it up and through Giant Moore on the receiving end on the touchdown. 27-0 in favor of.
I don't know the record for the farthest viewer, but this Bill Healy says he's watching in Ireland. He says he doesn't understand the game of football, but watching nonetheless. Irish flag,
Bill,
Irish flag.
we appreciate that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, I think that definitely goes down as the farthest afield we've ever had a viewer comment from on Facebook. Ireland. Bill, thanks so much. We appreciate you tuning in. Not bad. I don't know what made you pick tonight, but
I don't know what led him to the WFA Facebook page, quite frankly.
27-0 our score. I thought it was 27-0. Did he miss the extra point again?
We're not paying close enough attention.
I mean, let's be honest. Does it matter?
It might later in the game.
Beg your pardon. He did miss it. We're too focused on Bill Healy watching from Ireland and not realizing that he missed the extra point.
Trying to make our Irish
26-0. I beg your pardon. 26-0 the score here late in quarter number 1.
One of my college friends, Ben, also tuning in as well. Hi, Ben. Thank you for watching. Me and him did basketball together a little bit in college on the radio, so.
Very nice.
Probably judging me.
Kickoff return in the hands of James Quezada.
Can't be any worse than you shutting my microphone off.
Kenneth Borders with the tackle on the kickoff return. Out to the 20-yard line is where they'll mark it. And now if you're Michael Light in this Bishop Lynch offense, you need to figure out some way to move the football down the field. But again, eat up clock, try to keep Preston Stone and company off the football field, try to do anything to just build any sort of momentum right now.
Yeah, you've got to hold on to the football. You've got to get a couple first downs. Even if you don't score, at least get past midfield, get something going, drag this drive into the second quarter, and keep the ball out of the Panthers' hands.
Handoff goes to Darius Boyd. Fights his way for about 2. Maybe this is just the game to watch from overseas, because now
did you see that?
Unique D. Cook is the name of this particular person in the Facebook comments.
Unique?
It's certainly possible. Says he's watching in Australia on tour, enjoying this game. I'm not sure if he has any sort of. This is the other thing we need. If you're going to comment where you're watching from, let us know who you're tuning in to watch. And obviously, Bill mentioned that he's just watching to watch. Handoff up the middle for Darius Boyd, and he's got a first down. But yeah, I'm curious not only where you're watching from, but who you're tuning in to watch. So Unique, or Unique, as you said, may be the pronunciation of his first name. Let us know who you're tuning in to see, or if you're just watching because you're a football fan. First down and 10 for Bishop Lynch as Boyd carries for a pickup of about 9.
As we said, he's closing in. This is game 7, and he's already approaching the 1,000-yard mark for the season. Looks like we might have an offsides here. Yeah, there's a flag on the far side.
Boyd stood up after a pickup of about 2. That's Caleb Culp coming through and laying the wood. But as you mentioned, Blake Burris, I think it was, once again, big number 99, jumping offside. This time it looks like the officials are indeed saying the penalty will be against the Parish Episcopal defense.
Caleb Culp, the one who made the tackle, that's not going to matter because we're going to have a 5-yard walk-off here. But Caleb Culp, coach said he's probably their best all-around player. That's a big thing to say when you have the #1 quarterback recruit in the country. But Culp, last year, first-team all-district offense, defense, and special teams. Hard to get any better than that.
The 1st and 5 now for Bishop Lynch. Final 30 seconds of play here in quarter number 1. Trying to eat into this early 27-0 lead. Throws on the near side. Weston Walls complete for a first down. And Walls is close to midfield. This is maybe my favorite note from the week's worth of talking with these coaches and getting to know these two teams. Weston Walls, the senior tight end, 6'5", 215 pounds, and his head coach, Greg Price, says he's a well-put-together kid, big, strong. He said he's got the washboard stomach and the whole 9 yards. And he said any time that Weston Walls has an opportunity to take his shirt off, the shirt's coming off. And he said as a result, he calls him Tarzan. As the final play of the first quarter is a handoff up the middle for Darius Boyd. And that is how the first frame comes to a close, but quite a quarter for Preston Stone and Parish Episcopal. 26-0, the score after 1. 3 TD passes for Stone, a rushing score as well, and the Panthers are all over Bishop Lynch after 12 minutes of play. I mean, what more do you want, though, than to be called Tarzan? As an 18-year-old kid that plays high school football, that's pretty well put together, it sounds like. You go by Tarzan, according to your head coach? That's not a bad nickname.
As long as he's wearing more than a loincloth, it'll be all right. Let me take my shirt off, and you'll see why they call me Gumby.
Things we don't need to know.
You notice the camera.
Things that are best kept from just your wife.
Camera quickly cut away.
26-0 the score after 1 quarter here at Bishop Lynch Fino Stadium. Homecoming for the Friars, and not the start they wanted on homecoming. We'll see if they can eat into this early lead that Parish Episcopal has built up. Seeing another comment from far afield. Billy Salah says he's watching from Anchorage, Alaska to watch his daughter, London Salah, and the Brigade at halftime. Love it. And we'll show you all that. When we get to halftime, we will step aside ourselves, myself and Sean, for a little while and let you guys enjoy the band show, the Brigade. They'll do a little bit of the homecoming. They'll announce the King and Queen, all that, and we'll let you guys enjoy that during halftime. So, Billy, thanks so much for tuning in as we've got 2nd down and 5 for Bishop Lynch on play number 1 of quarter number 2. Officials still sorting things out, getting things ready for the start of the second quarter. It'll be Michael Light under center.
Now, Never knew the W in WFA stood for worldwide.
Apparently it does.
We've got a worldwide reach.
Schmidtke on the toss. Nowhere to go. Well defended. Cut down by Josue Munoz after really no gain on the play. Munoz, a 5'11", 245-pound senior. His head coach, Daniel Novikov, says he's country strong.
Having grown up in the country, I know exactly what that means. And I know that I did not get any of it.
Third down, and we'll call it 6. This time the toss goes to Darius Boyd, fighting his way forward. He's not quite to the first down. But it'll at least give Bishop Lynch a decision to be made here on 4th down and a little less than 2.
I imagine there's not going to be much of a decision. I mean, you've already given Parish a couple of short fields inside the 40, so
yeah.
I mean, what's giving them a 57-yard field here if you don't get it? So it's a short pickup here if they can get it. And Boyd has been breaking tackles and getting those, so hopefully he can get these couple yards, keep this drive alive for the
You got to imagine that's who's getting the football is Darius Boyd here on 4th down and 2, and it is indeed straight up the middle, 1st down. Well blocked in front. This Bishop Lynch football team, they like to run the football. They especially like to run the football behind the right side of that offensive line. Andy Cardenas, senior right guard, 6'3", 275 yards. They say he's their best offensive lineman. And between him and Joe Shore, and then also their center, Liam Brace, that right side of the offensive line, they can move some bodies around, and they do so there on 4th down and 2. A fresh set of downs inside the 40-yard line. They're going to throw for it. It's knocked down immediately. Blake Burris got his hands up and knocked down the pass from Michael Light, trying to go on the far side for Jordan Burnett. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I haven't had much success with the passing game, but I like that they're not going away from it, trying to find something to open up here. So far, it's been Boyd as the workhorse for him. And he's been doing a good job, especially on this drive.
That's where if you're Webster Walls, the tight end who was blocking on that side, trying to take care of Blake Burris, you got to consider cutting him or try and get some sort of do something to him to get his hands down. This time they throw it on the near side, and it's Weston Walls once again. Close to a 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and about 2.
There's Tarzan, as you said. I just want to see him beat his chest after he makes a play.
That would be on brand, right? That would be the perfect thing to do.
I think rules stipulate he has to keep that jersey on. So.
You saw Aiden Howard on the field there briefly. That's their stud defensive end. He will come on the field and play tight end some. He's a good blocker for this offense. His head coach joked with us, though, earlier this week. He said he'll tell you he's got great hands, but he said nobody else will tell you that Aiden Howard has got great hands. Certainly a better defensive player, arguably, than he is a target in the passing game. 3rd down and 2 now, and you can imagine it's going to Boyd once again, but they won't. They go play action. Light throws downfield, complete, and into the end zone goes Weston Walls. Tarzan for 6, and Bishop Lynch has got their first touchdown of the day.
There we go, exactly. Big play, right when they needed it. That drive took up a good 4 or 5 minutes. I think about 5 minutes. It's exactly what Lynch needed after a pretty horrible first quarter to come back with an extended drive to keep Parish off the field, and Tarzan getting the touchdown. Good throw from Michael Light right there as well.
This is one of my favorite developments that we've ever had on Thursday Night Lights. Tarzan just scored a touchdown. Extra point is indeed up and through. We've got to double check that apparently this evening. 26-7. Now the tally as Bishop Lynch gets on the board, and we'll see if they can build some momentum off of this. As you see a replay, Michael Light, as you mentioned, good throw downfield to a very open Weston Walls, able to get behind the defense and beat Caleb Culp there to the pylon. Touchdown Lynch, and maybe they can build something off of this.
And not only that, Light had time to throw the ball. His line protected well, but he also rolled out, which bought him a little more time, and he hasn't had that every time he's dropped back to pass so far. He's had hands in his face. The guy's right there putting pressure on him. That time, that's exactly what Coach Price wanted to see, everything clicking. His line gave him time. He made a good throw. Tarzan, Weston Walls, made a good catch, got his way into the end zone, and trimming into this Parish lead.
Looking at some of the comments on the Facebook feed here, and Matt Burt commenting, he says the crowd is staggering. I'm not sure if he's talking about the crowd noise that you're hearing, because on the near side, there's certainly a much bigger crowd. The Bishop Lynch side, the near side, the home side, is certainly much fuller than the far side for Parish Episcopal, as the kickoff return is very well done out to the 45-yard line in the hands of Gabe Grubbs. They call him Giggy, the sophomore wide receiver and defensive back, with a good kickoff return there, and yet again good field position. We've said that pretty much all night tonight.
Yeah.
Preston Stone and company again with good field position, starting at their own, we'll call it the 44-yard line.
Matt Bird also said the comments are staggering.
That was where I was going, and I wasn't sure if he was talking about the comments in the Facebook feed or if he was talking about
here we got our crowd
from the
shot.
two of us. There you go, a little look at the near side crowd. That is one of the unfortunate realities of the way that our setup is usually done, is that we're always looking. Think about any football stadium you've ever been to. The press box is on the home side, so therefore we're on the home side. Our camera is on the home side, and you're therefore looking primarily at the visitor's side in terms of the bleachers. As Stone throws in the near side and completes it in the hands of Christian Benson, who fights his way across midfield and gets a first down and a little bit more as he gets into Bishop Lynch territory. So yeah, the far side that you're seeing is the visitor side. Therefore, the fans are not quite as robust on that side. But the near side homecoming crowd for Bishop Lynch, they've certainly turned out in full force. I mean, there's not a whole lot of room to sit other than what they've got marked off for the band. But they need to see their football team play a little bit better here in quarter number 2 and try and turn the tide a little bit.
They've gotten on the board, so
nowhere to run, and a flag flies in there as Colin Lynch tried to fight his way for maybe 2 or 3. Check the flag here as Thomas Poore gets word from his crew. It's going to be a hold against Parish Episcopal.
looks like that hold was on 61.
That'll be Jackson Harris. Jackson Harris will work his way. They have their starting offensive line, Garcia, Mahari, Ryan, Overton, and Monaco. But you'll see a little bit of Cruz Gonzalez as well as Jackson Harris rotate in with their offensive line as well. They'll sometimes move Mahari down to center, which, as a matter of fact, it looks like that's exactly what has happened right now. Big number 66, a 6'2", 275-pound junior. Usually they're starting left guard, but sometimes he'll rotate down to center as he is right now. Stone in shotgun, 1st and 20 now after the penalty. Looking to the right, he's going to try and run for it. Creates some time, pointing downfield, throws that way, and throws it over the head of Gabe Walls and out of bounds. 2nd down and 10. So here's an opportunity now for Bishop Lynch. You've got Stone and his offense in 2nd and long. Can you get off the football field and give your offense the ball back? We're getting close to the midway point of quarter number 2. Here's your opportunity for Bishop Lynch to maybe try and start to create some momentum. You need a stop here, and then you need a drive that follows. But, of course, the stop is the primary thing right now. 2nd and 20. Lynch standing at his own 41-yard line as he throws deep over the middle behind his target, nearly intercepted, tipped twice.
I was just about to say, as you were talking about getting a stop, that a turnover would be huge for them right now, for Bishop Lynch right now. Obviously, Preston Stone does not throw many interceptions. He's had 11 the past 2 seasons.
Only 3 this year.
Yeah, for his freshman and sophomore season, 11, and just 3 more this year. So he doesn't throw them a lot. But right there, you saw the pass a little behind. They had an opportunity, but still, a 3rd down and 20 right now. Big stop needed by the Friars.
5 wide receiver set, 3 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Benson and Evan Green to the near side. Green's kind of the escape hatch. Stone trying to scramble. Pointing, now he's crossed the line of scrimmage. He's going to try and run for as much as he can. Ducks out of bounds, close to the original line of scrimmage. And that'll set up 4th down and 11. There's
another
player down here for Bishop Lynch on the near side.
About an 8-yard gain there from Preston Stone, so still 4th and long here. They are on the Bishop Lynch side of the field now, though.
Certainly not in field goal range. This would be a 62-yard field goal, so unless you're going to run the Cowboys kicker out there and try it, they'll have to punt the football away. Unless they, I suppose, could elect to try and go for it on 4th down and 11.
Got some viewers from Cincinnati right now.
Mike Hooper's parents, they say. Or Mike Hopper's parents, beg your pardon. Watching from Cincinnati. Parents, sister, and niece. Very nice. Dave Hopper and company, thanks so much for tuning in and watching here on our special Friday night edition of Thursday Night Lights. Still have not been able to catch who the injured player is, as he is entirely encircled by coaches and training staff. It would appear, whoever it is, they are back up on their feet now.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the good thing is it looks like he is on his feet. Here's the play. We'll see what happens. Might be.
Oh, there you go. You
15.
see it. It's number 15, Caleb Williams.
Looks like an arm, either a wrist or an elbow, when he was trying to make that tackle on Stone. Immediately grabbed. Couldn't tell if it was the left arm there.
He's still being tended to, and it looks like it's head coach Greg Price out there talking with him as well, holding his helmet and put his hand on his head and kind of consoled him there for a moment as you see Williams walk off under his own power. But again, as you mentioned, John, it certainly appeared to be some sort of shoulder, elbow, some sort of arm injury.
He did, but he doesn't seem to be favoring anything as he walks off. So
yeah, he seems to kind of be holding that right arm pretty steady.
Yeah,
maybe not moving that out. So they are going to go for it here on 4th down and 11 as we're back to the action. Preston Stone in shotgun, 4 wides, and they jump off side. Replay. Stone's going to try and go deep. Deep down the near sideline. He's got 2 receivers out there. It's intercepted. The play is going to come back. Nice defensive play to sky up there and intercept the football by Isaiah Schmidtke, but it's all going to come back, and 4th and 11 is going to become 4th and 6, and they're going to get another shot at this. So smart to go deep, but at least well defended by Bishop Lynch to not allow the deep shot to turn into anything more for Parish Episcopal. But that's a heck of a play by Schmidtke, the sophomore, 5'10", 190-pound sophomore, leaping up there and making the interception.
And obviously Stone probably would not have thrown it deep had there not been the offsides. But
on 4th and 11, you got to make something happen anyway. But
not quite that deep. I
sure.
Doubtful. Might have thrown a little closer to the sticks, but so may not have thrown the interception, but still, you had a chance to get a stop there. You still have another chance because it's not a first down here.
Right.
But that offsides, it's the penalties and the turnovers have killed the Friars so far. Still have a chance to get a stop here. They've got to come up big and get the ball back and cut into this lead.
The 4th and 6 now after the penalty. Stone in shotgun once again, and this time it'll be a 5 wide receiver set. 3 to the bottom of the formation. Green and Benson to the far side. Walls, Jai Moore, and Caleb Culp, the 3 to the near side. And Stone in shotgun, staying in his own 45. They got to get to the 34. He's going to try and run for it on a quarterback draw. Did he get it? He went down, I think, before it.
Oh,
that was very, very close. The near side head linesman has a spot at the 40-yard line saying, whoa, 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 whoa. As the far side marked it as a first down, the near side head linesman came running in and said, hang on a second, we need to talk about this, because he absolutely started his slide before that first down marker.
Here's the replay. Let's watch.
Here's another look at it. He's got to get to the 34. He stopped early.
Short.
He's at the 35, I beg your pardon, not the 40, the 35-yard line.
And we have the benefit of the replay. The officials do not.
Of course.
They're going to have to talk this over. But that head, as you said, that head linesman, he came running in here.
That's Manny Santana, the head linesman tonight.
The chains have already moved because the referee on the far side, the official on the far side, indicated it was a first down, but this head linesman said hold on. We saw in the replay that he was short, so we'll see if they talk this over and make the right call. And they are moving the chains back. It may be.
It certainly looks like they're. I don't know if they're going to change the spot of the football, because that's also going to be necessary if this is going to change who's got possession. But Aiden Howard celebrating at the middle of the football field.
I mean, if they put this ball where the head linesman is, they don't even need to measure. I mean, he's a good solid yard and a half short. And that's a turnover on downs. See where they're going to spot this ball.
Now, where they have the change right now, I don't believe is accurate, because the first down marker was not the 32, it was at about the 34.
Yeah. You could see.
First down. It was just officially signaled by Thomas Poore. Turnover on downs. First down for Bishop Lynch. So what frankly probably shouldn't have been a stop for the Bishop Lynch defense, because he had room to run. He certainly could have run for another yard or two and gotten the first down, but Preston Stone starting his slide a half a yard too soon, right at the 35-yard line, and a turnover on downs as a result. So a big development for Bishop Lynch and their defense, and now an opportunity here, 8:15 on the clock, second quarter, for Lynch to try and capitalize on this. A little bit of misdirection, but they did not fall for it at all. Taken down in the backfield. A nice defensive play by Josue Munoz right at the feet of Darius Boyd, and that'll go down as a loss of about a yard and a half.
And again, the Friars need to put together another drive here to keep that Parish offense off the field. Not only that, but to get back in this game. They got the one score, getting it within a 2-touchdown game and holding it there as they go into half would be a huge win for this team.
Second and 11 here. Light going to throw on the near side. Complete, maybe a pickup of 3 or 4 as he hits Matt McLaughlin. Third down and about 8 forthcoming. Mike Leslie and Sean Giggy here with you on a special Friday night edition of Thursday Night Lights, live on the WFA Facebook page, YouTube Live, and WFA.com. We do appreciate you joining us. If you're watching on Facebook, please, and YouTube for that matter as well, please drop a comment in the feed and let us know where you're watching from, who you're tuning in to watch, and please click the share button as well and let your friends and family know that they can tune in. Light's going to try and run for it here on 3rd down and 8 on the QB draw, and he's going to be taken down short. Keegan Addison pulling him down at the 42-yard line, and that's going to bring up 4th down and about 3. Looks like Greg Price might be at least considering going for it here. Aiden Howard coming on the football field, the big defensive end, plays some tight end as well. 6'3", 272 pounds. That's the kind of body that might help you pick up a 4th down and 3, and they are going to go for it here, down 26-7. Risking giving Preston Stone a short field, but understanding they need points in this football game. 4th and 3, Light tosses on the near side for Boyd. Penetration in the backfield, ball's loose, again. Picked up again by Parish Episcopal. Henry Partridge to the house, touchdown Panthers.
The one thing that you couldn't have happen right there, but we do have a flag on the field.
Flag down on the 39-yard line. The big question here will be whether it was before or after the change of possession.
Yeah.
And, of course, who it's on as well.
Bishop Lynch has got to be saying a prayer right here that this flag will bring it back. Just can't afford to fall in a bigger hole. Already fumbled twice, a 3rd fumble.
I believe he said a personal foul against Parish Episcopal. Thomas Poore, our official this evening. It would appear, based on the fact that the Parish offense is coming out on the field, that the penalty must have been after the play. I did see one of the officials explaining to Thomas Poore, our referee this evening, and he was kind of clapping in the face of Thomas Poore. I wonder if he was demonstrating, maybe there was some taunting that came after the play. We'll get the official word here from Thomas Poore. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike penalty. I'm trying to read lips here a little bit. He doesn't have a mic on tonight, but it looked like he was saying after the play. So it is indeed going to remain Parish Episcopal football, but the touchdown comes off the board. We'll give you a look at the replay here. Darius Boyd trying to fight for a first down. I don't know if it's going to be in the frame or not, the penalty that occurred. It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it, because it would have been back where the fumble took place.
But so a 15-yard penalty. The flag was dropped at the 39. So that would bring it all the way back to the 46-yard line in Parish Episcopal's territory. So that penalty pulls a touchdown off the board. There's now more laundry down on the field on the far side. 2 flags, one at the 41, one at the 37. And the officials are now talking to the coaching staff on Parish Episcopal's side of the field.
And while if you're Bishop Lynch, well, you don't like to see that fumble. Having that touchdown called back ultimately is no greater harm than had you not gotten the first down. It was 4th down there, so they would turn it over on downs had he not made the marker, and it didn't appear he was going to.
But again, we've got more flags down on the field. Now they've been picked up, but the officials talking with, I believe that's the head coach, Daniel Novakov. I beg your pardon, Novikov. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know if he's just looking for an explanation or if his search for an explanation may have gotten a further penalty.
Well, he doesn't look thrilled.
Certainly not.
So I'm sure he didn't get what he wanted out of that little meeting. I'm imagining he thought the touchdown probably should have stood.
And this is now further. This is a second unsportsmanlike penalty. So 30 yards now coming off of the field position for Parish Episcopal.
So their 3rd fumble of the game.
So this is basically going to go down
in a punt. Yeah.
Glad we're on the exact same page there. That's essentially what this all will go down as. Forget what you've seen over the course of the last 90 seconds. Bishop Lynch didn't go for it. They punted the football away. It was a fair catch at the 31-yard line. And it's Parish Episcopal.
We're going to imagine that happened. I don't think I've ever seen a team go for it on 4th down, and the result was the other team getting the ball as if there was just a punt.
It's a 30-yard change of possession. It's an unsportsmanlike penalty during the play that takes a touchdown off the board. And if you think about it that way, it's really a 70-yard penalty.
So, in other words, Parish gave up. They made a great 4th down stop, only gave up 30 yards. It's kind of what it seems like.
6:34 on the clock here, second quarter, and finally action again. We're done looking at the officials and starting to watch a little bit of football again as Corin Lynch carries for a pickup of about a yard on 1st down. The number 2 and number 9 private school teams in the state of Texas, according to Max Preps. Number 2 looks an awful lot like number 1 to me. Parish Episcopal, especially in that first quarter, looked outstanding.
And Bishop Lynch has done a pretty good job wrapping up Corin Lynch for Parish tonight. He's averaging about 9 yards a carry, but it doesn't seem like he's broken off too many long ones so far.
They'll try and throw for it here on 2nd and 9, complete over the middle, and that is a 1st down. Gabe Walls out across to the 46. Walls on the year, 11 catches, 131 yards, and 2 touchdowns coming into this game. Talented kid, more of a possession wide receiver for this offense. His head coach Daniel Novikov says he reminds. Oh, that's over the head of Preston Lynch, and he's got a drop on top. There's Preston Stone. I beg your pardon. Bishop Lynch had a chance to get on that football. That's going to be another big loss. What was 1st and 10 at the 44 is now going to become 2nd down and a mile.
I'm sure he would
mark it at the 29.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind having a career that's on the same path as Preston Lynch, even though Preston Lynch is kind of bouncing around the NFL right now. But getting to the NFL would be great.
5 minutes on the clock here, second quarter. Preston Stone, and now
Paxton
get
Lynch,
another flag. That's right, yeah, Paxton Lynch, yes.
Got my names confused.
Not sure if this is going to be an offensive or defensive penalty. It looks like it's going to be a false start against the offense. So just think about the penalty yards and then also the fumble yards that Parish Episcopal has given up over the course of the last 4 or 5 minutes worth of play.
2nd down and 34 right now. But if there's any team that can get this 1st down in the next 2 plays.
Let's see what Preston Stone can do on 2nd and 34. Rolling to the right, throwing downfield. He does complete it in the hands of Evan Green and out of bounds. That'll chunk off maybe about 10 or so of those yards. They have to get all the way out to the Bishop Lynch 44-yard line.
I think it's still going to be about 3rd and 22 here, maybe 23.
Testing the math of not only Sean Giggy, but also the poor soul who has to run the scoreboard here at Rufino Stadium. 2nd and 22, they'll call it.
If your math's bad, just count real quick the dashes on the field.
There was a penalty against Parish Episcopal, but the penalty declined.
Well,
he signaled that the penalty was declined, but apparently not. Thomas Moore turned to our side, waved his arms across his chest as if to say the penalty was declined, and then they moved the football back. And the down marker reads 3rd. If the penalty was accepted, it should be 2nd down, a repeat of down.
We've had more penalties in the last 2 minutes than plays.
It has been the Thomas Poor show. He's our referee this evening, and we've seen an awful lot of him. Now they're trying to sort this out. I think they're realizing that it should indeed be 2nd down.
We might need you folks to stick with us to midnight after we get all these penalties sorted out.
Oh, illegal forward pass was the ruling on the play. Preston Stone apparently may have gone past the line of scrimmage. Still an awful lot of sorting out being done. Let's introduce you to the whole officiating crew, since they've become the stars of the moment. Thomas Poor, your referee. Bill Walker, Manny Santana, Frank Baker, Greg Mitchell, Scott Solomon, and Mark Crawford, our crew this evening, and they've been busy tonight. So it will remain 3rd down and 34. 4:40 on the clock, 2nd quarter. Stone firing deep downfield. He's got an open man. It's complete in the hands of Evan Green. 1st down. They convert on 3rd and 34, and they're into Bishop Lynch territory.
Needed 34, and they got almost 50. That has got to be a huge punch in the gut for Bishop Lynch. But that is what Coach Price said. We cannot allow guys to get beyond us.
Flags fly in again. Stone thought he had a free play. There have been a series of false start or encroachment question marks tonight. A lot of times it's more clear than it's been this evening, but the officiating crew is, and they're going to say that this one is a false start.
When that was a 2nd and 34, I said, if one team can pick up a 1st down in two plays, it's this team. They didn't need 2 plays. They did 1 play.
Yep.
And now they're just trying to back the ball up again so they can try and gain more yardage.
They're stat padding. That's all it is.
Yeah.
1st and 15 it becomes now. 33-yard line in Bishop Lynch territory. Parish Episcopal with a 26-7 lead. They scored those 26 points in the first 10 minutes and 11 seconds of this football game. Since then, it's become rather mistake-prone for Parish Episcopal. Stone trying to change that here. Thrown over the middle, complete to the hands of Jai Moore, and very close to a 1st down. A little shy.
Jai Moore came into the game with 14 catches on the year. Already a few tonight. Those Parish receivers are doing a great job just getting to their spot and sitting right there in the middle of the field waiting for that throw to come.
Stone flushed, chased, flag flies. Aiden Howard right on his back. Slides down out of bounds after momentarily picking up the 1st down, but the initial signal is yet again that it will be against Parish Episcopal, and will back them up yet again.
Hold on Overton, I believe.
We've seen our fair share of penalties over the course of the season on Thursday Night Lights. I mean, let's be real. We're talking about high school football. It's not a perfect brand of football by any means, but tonight in particular, my word, the penalties that we have seen. I mean, that was a straight-up tackle. I don't blame the officials for calling that one. Overton, for all intents and purposes, tackled his man, and that will set up now 2nd down and 11. But there have been quite a few penalties in this first half of play.
I don't know if our guys up top running the cameras have headsets or not, but we need to have one of our cameras just stationary on the flag. Just have a dedicated flag camera over these past few minutes.
2nd and 11. Stone with 2 wides to each side. Corin Lynch in the backfield with him. Off play action, throws to the near side, complete for Evan Green. First down. Yes, sir. Yes, first down, just barely. Right at the sticks and just a hair more. And once again, Parish Episcopal into the red zone. .3:11 on the clock here, second quarter. Stone hands off to Corin Lynch. This time nowhere for him to go. Good pursuit. And nice job to get off blocks by this Bishop Lynch front 7. Flags again after the play. Maybe some extracurriculars after the play. Looked like Aiden Howard and A.J. Overton were tangled up after. I'm not sure who the penalty is going to go against here.
I was about to say that the good thing for Bishop Lynch is that they're slowing Parish down and making these drives take a little more time, but I don't know if it's so much them or these penalties. As you said, those 26 points were on the board in the first, that Parish has. Those 26 points were in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Penalty goes against this Bishop Lynch defense. So now a free first down, and it's 1st and goal. Ball sitting at the 8-yard line. You see a little bit of the extracurriculars there after the play. The immediate celebration from Robert Monaco. 1st and goal, Preston Stone. 2 backs in the backfield with him. Off play action. Swings it on the right-hand side. Throws it right at the feet of Caleb Culp and incomplete.
Caleb Culp has 13 catches on the year. That one a little low.
That would have been a tough grab to make,
yeah,
especially as he's trying to turn upfield and make something of that play. That's a quick hitter where you got to get the football out to him fast and give him an opportunity to make something of it. That time Stone a little off target. So 2nd down and goal. Once again, Corin Lynch and Caleb Culp in the backfield with Stone. Hands off to Culp. Culp's got a lead blocker in Lynch. Trying to get the corner. Touchdown.
Wow, what a block from Lynch. Sealing that edge out there. Watch this block. 28 here. Comes in. Not so much as a block as the other guy. The defender looked to be taking the legs out. Trying to take the legs out of Lynch.
It's Dylan Monsier, the junior safety, just trying to do everything he can. I mean, you got a lead blocker out in front like that, and only a few yards to the end zone. There's really not a whole lot you can do. He's just trying to kind of create traffic as they nearly blocked that extra point. It does go up and through, though, off the foot of Boister, and it's 33-7, Parish Episcopal.
Check it out one more time here. They're just trying to fight through that to make any sort of tackle, and he almost got him with his feet.
I mean, what he's trying to do is, it's called a long arm technique. He's trying to get in there with that upfield shoulder and trying to get around, not only through but also around the block to be able to have his shoulder to the sideline free to try and do something with it.
Get
but
a hand or something.
Lynch made that very difficult on him, and he wasn't able to get a hand on Caleb Culp. And
well, at 6 foot 220, Lynch is a big boy trying to get through him.
The touchdown makes it 33-7 in favor of Parish Episcopal, the number 2 team in the state on the private school scene, showing every bit of why they are thought of as highly as they are. 5-1 to start the year on a 3-game winning streak, and trying to make it 4 this evening. Certainly a very good start through just shy of one half of play.
It's not going to get easier for either of these teams. This district is loaded with talent.
Kickoff into the end zone over the head of James Cazada.
6 of the last 11 state championships in Division I of TAPS have come from this district right here. And right now, Parish is looking like a team that really believes and has the talent to make that a 7th state championship for this district.
You look at the schedule for Parish Episcopal to start their district play. In back-to-back weeks, you play Bishop Dunn, who won a state championship last year, and Bishop Lynch, who lost to Bishop Dunn in the state title game last year. It doesn't get a whole lot more challenging than that, you would think, as the handoff goes up the middle for Darius Boyd, and he picks his way for maybe a yard.
And then after that,
and they've come out and won 37-14 over Bishop Dunn, and they lead 33-7 right now, shy of halftime over Bishop Lynch. They are making a very profound statement these first 2 weeks of district play.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised, depending on how the other results shake out tonight, if sometime in the next couple of weeks, if you keep playing like this, if they end up in that number one rankings. This is quite a performance so far in this first half.
Light's going to throw for it here on 2nd down and 9, and they maybe pick up a yard as sliding to his knees is Webster Walls after he made the catch. Third down and 8. The last thing you want to do right now if you're Bishop Lynch is give the football back to Preston Stone and company with enough time to do something with it. Both teams with 3 timeouts to work with.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. The score's already run up, but I'm kind of surprised Coach Novakov hasn't called a timeout to try and preserve a little bit of time if they do get the ball back here. We'll see what happens after this play.
122 and moving as Light takes the snap. Beg your pardon, it's now the backup quarterback in there, Blaine Ritter, throwing on the near side. And incomplete. Little extracurriculars there from Weston Walls. No flag flies. Up after the play comes Daniel Demery. Let's talk a little bit about this kid for a moment, by the way. Number 14 in white, Daniel Demery, a freshman, 6'1" and 180 pounds. Makes plays on this football team, is a key piece of this football team already as a freshman. And at least according to his head coach, Daniel Novikov, says he could be the best freshman in the country.
Yeah, said he has a chance to be the best safety in the entire country.
Really, really talented kid. He's definitely a big part of their future. He's going to get the punt return here. Picks it up at the 46. Cut back. Now across the 40. He's got a wall.
He's going.
Can he get to the end zone? Daniel Demery, one man to beat. Dives. End zone. Touchdown, Parish Episcopal. They're laying it on now.
Oh, the most amazing thing, no flags on that play. We've seen a lot of laundry the past few minutes. I expected to see something. Every time they've had a successful play, it seems like it's been called back. Wow. Now
that one cut, and he left 4 members of the punt return team behind him.
And again, he's a freshman that his coach thinks could be the best safety in the country, but he's showing he's obviously a pretty darn good punt returner as well.
Just an athlete, man. Just a flat-out athlete. That is a 6'1", 180-pound freshman taking it to the house. Extra point up and through, 40-7. The score in favor of Parish Episcopal. We still haven't quite hit halftime.
And I know they're not going to do this. But the Panthers, if they use their timeouts, could have a chance to get the ball back. That's not going to happen. I bet they're looking to let it go to halftime as we watch this return again.
Nice hustle downfield by Parish Episcopal to help make sure that happened. Amari Hayes making that final block inside the 5-yard line to clear the path for Demery. I'll tell you what, do appreciate the kid. Right as we're talking him up, boom, off he goes for a punt return for a touchdown. I mean, you couldn't have timed that one up any better for us, Daniel. We do appreciate that at the very least. 40-7 now the tally. 59 seconds to play in this opening half. Bishop Lynch on homecoming having a tough go of things against the number 2 team in the entire state.
You must have an earpiece in streaming that WFA live feed there. Knew we were talking him up.
He showed a little bit of why right there. And here's Boyster to kick it off. Line drive kick, checks up at the 20. Isaiah Schmidtke trying to make something of this final minute of the half. Runs into a wall at the 20-yard line. We do want to remind you, if you're tuning in to see the show from the bands, from the drill teams, anything along those lines, the homecoming announcements of King and Queen, we'll bring all that to you here at halftime in just 50 seconds worth of game action. We'll drop the headsets for a little bit and let you guys just enjoy the show here from Ruffino Stadium. Still a little bit of work to be done, though, before we get to that point, as again, it's Blaine Ritter in there at quarterback. I didn't see an injury happen with Michael Light. We may have missed that. That is entirely possible, but Blaine Ritter in the game at quarterback, and
we do have a flag again.
In a altogether shocking development as they make the connection to Isaiah Schmidtke, and Yet is standing on the sideline. Standing on the sideline very close to the offensive coordinator and to head coach Greg Price as well, who's the one who actually does call the plays for this offense. Flag goes against Bishop Lynch. Is Michael Light. He's right there, ready to go in the football game at a moment's notice. So I don't know if maybe they're just doing this because they need to throw the football down the field and they feel that Ritter can do that more effectively, but Light's still going to play at some point in this game, or if they've made a true change at the quarterback position. I guess we'll see as the second half plays out. But it certainly appears that Michael Light is healthy.
Yeah. Helmet on, he looks ready to go. Seems like he's itching. He took a couple steps on the field after that last play, like he was ready to go out there.
But it's the sophomore Ritter, number 16, in there, handing off to Darius Boyd. And that will probably be the final play of half number one.
I think Bishop Lynch is content just letting this one wind down right here. Running the ball, not calling their timeouts. Got to go into the locker room, regroup. Definitely not a half that they wanted coming out here. They wanted to keep this game close early, but the good news, if there is a positive, is that they have played some really strong second halves this season. So hopefully they can do the same here tonight and get back in this game.
Whistles before the half can come to a close, and Parish Episcopal's calling timeout with 2 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure why. You figure if you're going to use that timeout, maybe you would have used it 30 seconds ago. If you're trying to get the football back, maybe just force them to snap the ball one more time. I'm not real sure what the strategy is here. But perhaps as we're seeing a close-up of the huddle here on the Parish Episcopal sideline, maybe they just noticed something. They say, you know what, we need to address this real quick. It may well have been just that simple.
Maybe just a teaching moment. Yeah, maybe their guys might not have been lined up right. I don't know, because Coach Price, I know he told you before the game, Mike, that he's not a really big trick guy. So even though there's 2 seconds left, this seems like it would be the time to maybe pull something out of your sleeve. But given the fact they've had trouble hanging onto the ball, haven't been throwing it well, I doubt they try anything fancy here. I assume they probably just run it here, go into the half, and try to regroup.
2 seconds on the clock. It's still Ritter in there at quarterback. Boyd dotting the I behind him. He gets the handoff and not anything more. Very quickly taken down by Blake Burris, Josue Munoz, and Noah Richards, all in the backfield in a heartbeat. And that will be the final play of half number one. Preston Stone and company laying it on through one half of play. 40-7 the score. Stone involved in each of the first 4 touchdowns. Caleb Culp with a touchdown run. Daniel Demery with a punt return for a touchdown in the final minute here of half number one. And the number 2 team in the entire state looking like it through one half of play. John, your thoughts on what we've seen so far?
Well, I think from Parish, we've seen exactly what we expected. Preston Stone finding open receivers, throwing the ball downfield, the running game going for them, everything clicking on offense. But what we've seen from Bishop Lynch is a little bit surprising, not holding on to the football, the 3 fumbles, the penalties that have backed them up. And they knew they couldn't have that coming into the game. They knew their offense was pretty one-dimensional with just the run game. and to make those mistakes, that's what they can't have against a team, as you said, that looks like the number one team, even though they're ranked second. You can't have those mistakes, and obviously it's cost them here in the first half.
They have as good an argument as anybody in the state to be number one. The team that a lot of people have at number one, depending on which rankings you look at, is Trinity Christian Cedar Hill, who does have a loss this season to this Parish Episcopal football team. So, again, Parish did lose earlier this season to Fort Worth All Saints back in the middle of September. That knocked them down in some people's mind a little bit because of that loss. But still, the role they're on right now, the way they're playing tonight against a team that, again, I understand this is not the same Bishop Lynch football team that played for a state championship a year ago. I do understand that. But still, this is a program that is used to being a state title contender, a program that is used to being one of the best private school teams across the state of Texas. And Parish Episcopal has taken them behind the woodshed through 24 minutes worth of play. 40-7, our score at halftime. And Parish Episcopal behind Preston Stone has done everything that they want to do and then some. It's not been pretty through one half of play. It is halftime, though, now here at Rufino Stadium, and we've got bands on the football field, so let's let you enjoy the show from each of the bands. We'll see a little bit of the homecoming court get announced as well, the King and Queen, and Sean and I will be back in about a half an hour to pick things up for half number 2. We'll talk to you guys then.
Now prepare to be dazzled by an exciting hoop routine to any way you want.
We want to recognize the white citation dancers of the week, third-year junior, Natalie Hardman. Brigade is also recognized our faculty member of the week, Coach John Searson. Brigade will be performing their field team to Billy Buttercup. Bishop Lynch High School proudly presents the 2019 edition of the Marching Choir Band. This evening, we will perform all three movements of our competition production in chorus. The show features music from Mozart, Mussorgsky, Saint-Saëns, Bach, and 21 High. And now, led by Journeyman's Grace Higgins and Olivia Scott, Bishop Lynch proudly presents the Spirit of the Hour, the 2019 Marching Choir Band.
Quite a show from both schools' bands, and as you can see out on the field right now, they're about to introduce the homecoming court here at Bishop Lynch High School, as this is indeed homecoming at Rufino Stadium, but not the homecoming they would have wanted so far on the football field. 40-7 the tally right now after one half of play. Preston Stone with 3 passing scores and a rushing score. All 4 of those touchdowns came in the first 10 minutes and 11 seconds of this football game tonight. Stone's stats so far in the first half: 13 of 16, 196 yards and 3 passing scores, 5 rushes for 49 yards, and the running touchdown as well. Stone leading the way for sure. Caleb Culp also had a rushing touchdown. Daniel Demery had the 54-yard punt return for a touchdown late in the first half. That was the final score of that opening half to make it 40-7. The one touchdown so far from Bishop Lynch, Michael Light to Weston Walls, a passing touchdown up the right side, and that's the one score so far that we've seen from the Bishop Lynch Friars. Boyd on the night, Darius Boyd, the running back for Bishop Lynch, 14 carries for 51 yards. He's done a nice job on the ground. The problem is, Sean, he's also put the football on the deck. 3 fumbles there in the first half, and each of those led to prime opportunities for Parish Episcopal to put the football in the end zone. 2 of those, it was literally the very next play. Fumble recovered by Parish Episcopal, and on the very next offensive play, into the end zone they went. A 38-yard touchdown run by Preston Stone that immediately followed the second fumble. The first fumble was followed by Stone to Caleb Culp on a 27-yard touchdown pass. It's been a rough go of things for Bishop Lynch tonight, and they're in quite the hole here at halftime.
Yeah, Boyd has gone over 1,000 yards for the season with the 51 yards he's got at half. But those 3 fumbles is probably what he's thinking about at halftime. The good thing is they get the ball to start the second half to try and come out here, hold on to the ball, get a little momentum going. I know especially he's probably frustrated doing this against his former team. I'm sure he wanted to come in here and
for sure,
and do well against them and just pound it right down their throat. But he's going to have a chance here coming out in the third quarter to try and make a little bit of a statement and chip away at this lead, but not just offensively. The defense is going to have to step up as well and try to do something to slow down Preston Stone. As you mentioned, he's 13 of 16, hit his first 11 passes of the game. They're not cheering for Preston Stone, unfortunately. They're cheering for the homecoming court. Congratulations to that young lady.
The homecoming king and queen being announced right now, and at least that has been an enjoyable moment for the Bishop Lynch faithful this evening. But again, it's been a frustrating night on the football field. I think what's probably frustrating the most for head coach Greg Price and anybody affiliated with this Bishop Lynch program is that midway through that second quarter, they had at least started to build some semblance of momentum. They had the touchdown pass from Light to Walls. That made it 26-7. And then they had, when the score was still 26-7, they had this Parish Episcopal offense in a world of hurt. 3rd and 34 after a series of penalties, after a snap that went over the head of quarterback Preston Stone. There were a series of errors made by that Parish Episcopal offense, and they had him in 3rd and 34. Now you're down 26-7. Everything that could have gone wrong for Bishop Lynch over the course of the first 10 minutes of the football game went wrong. They allowed the opening drive straight down the football field, and Preston Stone hit Evan Green for the opening touchdown just a little over 2 minutes in. And then we saw the series of fumbles that led to touchdowns for Parish Episcopal, and in a blink, it was 26-0. But then for a little while, Lynch started to try and kind of scale the mountaintop a little bit. They made a couple of plays on the defensive side of the football to get the ball back. They went on that drive down the football field, the long touchdown pass from Light to Walls. And then again, at 26-7, midway through the second quarter, there they are in prime position to make a big stop, get the football back, and perhaps maybe go get a few points before halftime. Get 3 points, maybe get 7 points before halftime, and be looking at 26-10 at the break or 26-14 at the break. Could have been an entirely different football game. Instead, deep ball, Preston Stone up the near side to Evan Green. First down on 3rd and 34, and they eventually go in and score the touchdown with Caleb Culp with a little under 3 minutes to play in that first half. And then to only add insult to injury, Bishop Lynch gets the football back, fails to really move the football much at all, punts the ball away, and Daniel Demery takes a 54-yard punt return to the house to give us now this 40-7 halftime score in favor of Parish Episcopal. So Lynch had a moment, had an opportunity, and they unfortunately let it pass. And as a result, Parish Episcopal leapt on top of that gaping wound and only made it worse.
And like you said, they went almost an entire quarter without giving up points. They'd done a good job defensively, and that 3rd and 34, man, they had a chance to get the ball back right there, potentially score and get it to a 2-touchdown deficit, but giving up that 3rd and 34, not just Parish going on to score, but the punch in the gut that gives to your defense, to your entire team, knowing that you're on the verge of getting back in this game. They get the ball to start the second half here, so we'll see if they can do something with it.
The kickoff from Reed Boyster, a short one fielded at the 6-yard line, bobbled momentarily, but now up with it and taken off up the field is Isaiah Schmidtke. He's got some running room, and Schmidtke is in a foot race. He's got the kicker to beat, and he's being chased down from behind. Schmidtke inside the 20-yard line, and a jolt of life from Bishop Lynch right out of the halftime tunnel.
Wow, could not ask for anything better to start this second half than that right there. That kick return. Your offense has been struggling. Your defense struggled down the stretch of the second quarter. This is going to give your offense life. And again, after he fumbles the kickoff there, picks it up, finds some space, some good blocks in the middle, and then he just finds the hole back to the near side. And yeah, if it wasn't for the kicker, he was taking that for 6.
And credit to Kenneth Borders, too, number 6, chasing him down from behind. He was the one who was also kind of making things difficult. If it weren't for Borders, he may have been able to cut back across the kicker and find the end zone, but good hustle there. Now Darius Boyd trying to make something of this right up the middle, still dragging tacklers. Into the end zone goes Darius Boyd, and 23 seconds in to the second half. Quite a start for Bishop Lynch. They're in the end zone.
Wow, you could not ask for a better start to the half. As we said, that's the thing they needed to do, was come out. The unfortunate thing is they scored so quickly. Now their defense has to come on the field. But obviously the defense is rested because
Yes.
at halftime. But you could not ask for a better start. Still a long way to go to get fully back into this game. But you got to be happy with what just happened right there. And again, Michael Light, the starting quarterback, still on the sideline. I believe Blaine Ritter was still out there, the backup. So it looks like we haven't gotten any word on if Light was injured. It did not appear he was in that first half. So it must just be a straight-up quarterback switch.
Certainly appears that that's the case, but with the focus here for the moment anyway on Darius Boyd. Look at this run, dragging defenders, shaking loose of Henry Partridge, and fighting his way into the end zone right across the face of Bridges. As you said it, that is exactly what Bishop Lynch needed to start this second half. Of course, still in a very large hole. It is a 26-point football game right now. But they needed some sort of life, and they found it very quickly. Credit, of course, first and foremost to Isaiah Schmidtke, the sophomore, on the kickoff return, getting them down inside the 20-yard line, and then an 18-yard fight of a touchdown run from Darius Boyd. And it's 40-14.
And not only what Bishop Lynch needed, but what Darius Boyd needed as well. I mean, he had those 3 fumbles in the first half.
Yeah.
And a couple of those coming after he had picked up yardage. And so that right there to take on those hits and hold on to the football.
Wynn knocked the football off the tee, so they'll reset it here for the kickoff as Blaine Ritter gets set to kick it away. This would seem to me like a prime opportunity for a surprise onside. I beg your pardon, it's actually Fabian Gutierrez there to kick it off this time. He will indeed kick the football away. I almost wonder, why not try it, right? You're down 26, and instead, here goes Christian Benson up the middle. Benson across midfield. Little hesitation, and he's still going. Benson inside the 25, inside the 20. Foot race to the pylon. Christian Benson, touchdown.
Wow. We're 45 seconds into this second half. 1 offensive snap and 2 touchdowns. Unbelievable.
An 80-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Christian Benson.
Watch the tackles he breaks. He has a spin move right here to bounce off of one, and then he's going to get through another.
And then the hesitation to me is also what is so impressive here. And then once he finally had a lane.
And to stay in bounds on that sideline as well. Wow. And we talk about...
So whatever momentum Bishop Lynch had created, and it's gone again.
Took 15 seconds to lose it.
Literally 19 seconds come off the clock between touchdowns. Reed Boyster out for the extra point once again, and this one does indeed sneak inside that right upright. 47-14, Parish Episcopal. The 80-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Christian Benson, and we'll give you one more look at it here. I mean,
what an answer!
You created an alley, but then you also had him corralled here around midfield. This play should have ended there.
2 tackles, 3 tackles there should have been down, and then potentially a 4th right there. That's just heck of a return.
We heard it from Daniel Novikov, the head coach of Parish Episcopal, that he has got some serious talent in his backfield between the starter, Corin Lynch, who on the year has now about 500 rushing yards, including what he did in the first half, and 7 touchdowns. He's their starting tailback. But you've also got Christian Benson, and you've got Caleb Culp. Each of them now have touchdowns this evening. Culp has a pair. And now Christian Benson with the 80-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. It is an embarrassment of riches for this Parish Episcopal football team, and there's a reason why they are thought of as highly as they are. They can score in a lot of different ways, and they've shown it off tonight.
Yeah, the only thing we hadn't seen really was the special teams, and we've got that one taken care of.
So now once again comes the Bishop Lynch offense, this time after a touchback. They weren't going to mess around with Isaiah Schmidtke again. And again, it's Blaine Ritter, the sophomore backup quarterback, in there under center to start the second half. Boyd with the handoff and maybe a yard and a half. Michael Light, a junior, has been the starter for this football team all season. Light, though, was the backup behind Caden Salter, who would have been a senior here at Bishop Lynch this year, but elected to transfer in the offseason to Cedar Hill, who, by the way, is having a very nice season this year. Second down and 9 here for Ritter and company. Ritter's going to throw for it. Near side in and out of the hands of Carlos Marquez. So Michael Light trying to replace Caden Salter, who transferred in the offseason. Light, you would have figured if Salter had stuck around, wouldn't be starting until next year as a senior, as Salter would have still been the guy this year. But with the struggles that they've had in the passing game this season, in comes Blaine Ritter, the sophomore, transfer from Highland Park, in fact. We'll see what he can do under center. 3rd and 9, you imagine this is a situation where you probably need to put the football in the air. And they will. I beg your pardon, a little delay, and Ritter's not going to try and run for it. And gets out to the 30-yard line, but no further.
Not sure if that was a busted play or not. It looked like he was, it didn't seem quite like a fake. It looked like he was trying to hand it off, but there was miscommunication. He had to watch here. He holds it out there, which is very dangerous with the defender right there. Could have smacked it out of his hands.
And then again, that's where you get into if you've got a sophomore quarterback out there that hasn't played much over the course of this season. There will be miscommunications. There will be losses in translation. Clearly there, he thought the play was one thing. Darius Boyd thought something else, and it leads to a punt here. And now here comes Parish Episcopal once again. They'll let this one roll as Caleb Culp sees it roll to the 36. So with 9:43 to play here, third quarter, 47-14 our score on Thursday Night Lights. Mike Leslie and Sean Giggy here with you on the WFA Digital Network.
Looks like Michael Light is down there with a hoodie on, so yeah, it looks like that quarterback change is his evening is done.
It is interesting, though, because we were talking about this earlier when we initially noticed the switch late there in the first half, and Light looked like he was raring to get back on the football field. But certainly the fact that he is on the sideline now wearing a hoodie and out of his pads, that would certainly indicate that something may have happened from a physical standpoint that is inhibiting his ability to be on the football field. So, one, you certainly hope that he can get healthy. But two, if you're a Bishop Lynch fan, you certainly hope that you can figure out what does Blaine Ritter have? What could this offense look like with number 16 under center? Because you need to figure out something to get the football moving. And now, yet again, a player down on the field for Bishop Lynch. I wonder, is this Aiden Howard, their star defensive end? He's laying on his back, so it's a little tough to get a peek at what number that is, but just based on who's sitting around him that isn't wearing number 9, I'm inclined to wonder if that is him. He's been battling an ankle injury all season, and as he gets back to his feet and starts to limp his way off, you wonder if that hasn't flared up once again.
That'll be a big blow for that defense if this is going to hold him out the rest of the game. Already having trouble slowing Preston Stone in this offense down.
Howard, 6'3", 272 pounds, a senior, being strongly recruited. I mean, he's looking at Colorado is certainly an option. That's a Power 5 conference team out in the Big 12. He's also looking a little bit at Villanova, a team at the FCS level, but arguably one of the best programs at the FCS level. Won a national championship several years back, and they've got a good program. So Aiden Howard certainly has some choices to be made.
You just said Colorado was in the Big 12, man.
Sorry, Pac-12. Thank you.
You're stuck,
once upon a time
in 2005 or something here.
Thinking back to that, was a 62-36 game against Nebraska right back in the day. Over the middle, it's Stone once again, and Gabe Walls dragging tacklers inside the 30-yard line. I just have this vivid memory of 62-36. And that's the weird thing, that I did not grow up a fan of either of those programs, but I just that game sticks out in my brain for some reason. It's one of the games of my childhood that I remember more than others for whatever reason. But yes, the Pac-12, no longer the Big 12 for Colorado.
Nor Nebraska, now Big 10.
That's a good point.
Realignment. and neither team as elite as they once were.
And here goes Corin Lynch around the corner. Flag flies late in the play.
You know, I'm not about to diagnose someone, but I have not seen Light remove that right arm. I can't tell if he's got a sling or if he's just cold because he's got that hoodie on, but I have not seen his right arm move from that position. So I'm not sure if he was forced out of the game because he got dinged up or whatnot, but yeah, obviously his day is done.
Officials still sorting out the flag here, and it will come back. The long run there for Corin Lynch. He's been maybe the one guy that's had a little bit of a tough time breaking loose this evening. Just the way that the game has transpired, it hasn't quite led to many big plays anyway for Corin Lynch. Showed the speed there, certainly showed off his ability there on that run, but it comes back via the flag. Sets up first down, and it's like about 15 or 16.
We're confusing some of our viewers. You know, Thursday Night Lights Friday edition, thinking that they're off by a day.
As Lynch is still dragging towers. He's got a first down after all that. Corin Lynch, 6 foot, 220 pounds, and just a bull. Look at this again. He was contacted 3 yards downfield. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bishop Lynch defenders contacting him, and he's dragging every last one of them for a first down.
An extra about 12 yards there after contact.
He's got it again on 1st and 10. Close. He'll have a first down, but not quite to the end zone. 1st and goal at about the 1. Yes, if you're confused by the Thursday Night Lights, that is the name of the package. We've been doing these games all season long on Thursdays. We're taking a quick tour through the tap scene, so we're doing a couple of Friday night games this week and next week. But yes, generally speaking, we do games on Thursday nights. 1st and goal for Preston Stone. Handoff to Lynch, rather it's play action, rolls to the right, fires into the end zone, and it's dropped. Andrew Merrick was wide open in the back of the end zone, should have been a touchdown, and just put it on the deck.
Yeah, Merrick obviously not happy with himself. Hit him right in the hands. A good throw from Stone. See the replay. I think Merrick anticipated that one being that pass being elevated a little more than it was, as he jumped it and ended up being more at his chin neck area and had to bring the hands down and couldn't gather it in.
So on 2nd and goal, this time they do hand it off to Corin Lynch, and look at the defensive play by Bishop Lynch. Buzz Jurdy leading the charge. Big number 99 there, and they do not allow him to get into the end zone, so it'll be 3rd and goal. Third and goal from a little inside the 2-yard line. Some last-minute substitutions here as the play clock ticks under 10.
be a huge win here for Bishop Lynch if they can keep him out of the end zone.
Stone looking right, fires that way, ball tipped and bobbled and dropped. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage, somehow got at least far enough to get to Christian Benson, but the deflection made the catch much more difficult.
And I believe that was Aiden Howard back in the game. Yeah. Aiden Howard, who walked off, looked like with a bum ankle a minute ago, back in the game, affecting that pass right there. So now we got a 4th down.
So 4th and goal, and they will stay out on the field with the offense and go for it here. Preston Stone with Christian Benson saddled to his right and 2 wide receivers to the right-hand side. They roll that way. They're going to throw it back on the near side. Wide open, touchdown. Blake Burris, all 6'5", 265 of them, sneaks out of the formation, wide open on the left-hand side. And they've now hung 53 on this Bishop Lynch defense.
Yeah, and we're only midway through the 3rd quarter. That's Burris' 2nd touchdown on the year. He only had 1 catch, and now he's got 2, and both of them have been for touchdowns. That is called productive. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns on the year for Burris.
Burris, of course, a big defensive player for this football team, plays defensive end. He's committed to play at Air Force, but if you've got a kid that's 6'5" and 265 pounds, why not throw him the football every once in a while?
Another flag down here. But teams are walking off, so it looks like it's against Bishop Lynch, and that extra point will stand.
Indeed it is, and offsides against Lynch, and the point goes on the board, 54-14. The lead is now ballooned to 40.
And, you know, I was watching some of Preston Stone's highlights from last year and from some of his games this year, and what he just did there, he's so good at throwing back across the field and off balance, and he's done that many times where he draws the defense one way, and he is so good at being accurate back across the field and thrown back against his body, and you saw it right there. All he needed was a guy to get open, and he can make the throw. It's just very impressive, and again, just another reason he's one of the top, if not the top, quarterback recruit in the entire country.
The play design also there was key. That play in the red zone at every level, it just works. You kind of just sneak the tight end through the formation. It looks like to everybody on the defensive side of the ball that he's blocking. Everything else about the play is rolling to the opposite side of the field. All of the flow is going that way, and just hanging out wide open is Blake Burris. Kickoff return here once again for Isaiah Schmidtke, and this time he's bottled up inside the 20. As Bishop Lynch now finds themselves in a 40-point hole. .526 and moving here, 3rd quarter. Which I can't help but wonder, I'm noticing that the clock is moving after a kickoff return. Have we gone to a running clock situation here?
It appears that we have. And I think for Bishop Lynch at this point, the game has gotten far away from you at this point. I think it's just about making sure that you use the rest of this game to do the little things right, do what you need right.
And here goes Darius Boyd doing some things right as he has the first down on the carry.
Yeah, the rest of the way, and coaches will say this anyway, even if you're still in the game, just focus on what you need to do. Don't be focusing on the other team, but more so right now. Because this is going to go down as a loss unless something crazy happens in the 4th quarter. This is going to go down as a loss, and this is one of the toughest districts in all of TAPS. You've got to show up next week for Bishop Dunn, the team that beat you in the state championship last year. So Bishop Lynch, it doesn't get any easier after this. Just use this final quarter and a half to work on things that really need to be worked on.
Here comes Ritter, pass knocked away at the last moment. Diving in to make the defensive play is Amari Hayes. No flag. The fans on the near side may have thought differently than that. Although with the sheer volume of flags that we've seen tonight, to have just said the words "no flags,"
actually,
I'm okay with it.
There is.
Oh, of course there is. It was a false start. It had nothing to do with the incompletion or the defensive play, but there was a flag down.
I think the flag might have been just in front of the the sideline here where we couldn't see it. The Bishop Lynch team was blocking it. So
after all that, the play that we just saw goes down as a play that never actually took place. That false start, that negates the play altogether.
I think between the two of us, we've got one good eye tonight. We've missed. You and I have gotten 2 or 3 extra points incorrect. We can't see flags. I don't know what's going on.
So here comes Ritter once again, looking deep over the middle and throws it at the feet of Carlos Marquez. 3 minutes to play here, third quarter, on a special Friday night edition of Thursday Night Lights. The number 2 team in the state on the private school scene, Parish Episcopal, showing off every facet of why they are so highly thought of around the state. Third down, they're going to set up a screen here for Darius Boyd. One man left to try and defend the play, and he does it well. Amari Hayes bringing him down, and yet another flag is down.
Roughing the passer, it looks like. So this will give him a first down.
You mentioned it earlier, we saw this Bishop Lynch team come back against Ennis in the second week of the regular season. They trailed very big in that football game. I believe 34-10 was the score in that game. They came all the way back to win that football game 41-34. Parish Episcopal is not Ennis. Ennis is a good football team, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Ennis is a good football team. Parish Episcopal is not Ennis. And I think in a lot of ways, frankly, this Bishop Lynch football team is a different football team than they even were in week 2 of this season. I think the confidence of this football team, frankly, has been shaken a little bit with the struggles that they've had the last few weeks. The loss to Cornerstone Christian, the 37-6 loss against Nolan Catholic 2 weeks ago, and now what has happened over the course of the first 3 quarters of tonight's football game. This is a team that played for a state championship a year ago. Again, I understand different cast of characters, different coaching staff, all of that. But there are still players left over from that team. But they are, unfortunately, in a little bit of a rut right now, and they need to find a way to dig themselves out of it because, as you mentioned a few moments ago, it doesn't get any easier next week when you face a very, very good Bishop Dunn football team that won a state title a year ago.
And again, what's happening tonight is not necessarily indicative of the talent that's on that team. This is, as we've said, this is one of the best, if not arguably the best district in all of TAPS. And so this is just a very good parish team out here right now that we could very well see as a state champion at the end of this season. And that, I mean, Bishop Lynch is still a very talented team, and they've got a lot to play for the rest of the way. They've got 3 games after this one: Bishop Dunn, Prestonwood, and then closing the season with John Paul to try and make something happen in the playoffs.
There's a reason why the winner of this district is the one that gets the first round bye in the TAPS Division I playoffs, as that is an absolutely monster hit from Dustin Henderson, coming across the formation and taking out Darius Boyd, and Boyd is down after the play.
Yeah, I'm guessing he just got the wind knocked out of him because that was right to the gut. I mean, the throw was a little high, so it kind of led him up in the air, which allowed. Here, we'll get a look at it.
Beg your pardon, it wasn't Darius Boyd. That was Will Auger, their fullback, that caught the brunt of that hit after he made the catch.
Yeah, what a hit from Henderson, though. I'm glad to see Auger is up and walking off. I'm sure he just got the wind knocked out of him because that was right to the gut.
And that'll set up 4th down and 8 now for Bishop Lynch. In Parish Episcopal territory, just a hair over midfield. They're at the 48. They need to get to the 40 on this 4th down. Ritter, the sophomore backup quarterback, in there in shotgun. And now whistles once again. And that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We head to the 4th. 54-14. The score through 3 quarters of play. Preston Stone and Parish Episcopal showing out tonight and making things frankly rather miserable for Bishop Lynch on homecoming.
Yeah, and as you said, Mike, the running clock we will have through the fourth quarter, since the score is a 40-point difference right here.
Right. So this is as good an opportunity as any between quarters here, between the third and fourth, to let you know where we are next week. And as it turns out, we'll be right back here. Bishop Lynch and Bishop Dunn. We mentioned it earlier. This is a rematch of last year's state championship game in TAPS Division I. And we'll see those two football teams square off right back here at Rufino Stadium 1 week from tonight. So in back-to-back weeks, Thursday Night Lights, bit of a misnomer.
On Friday night.
Playing on Friday nights. And we'll get to see, again, a rematch of a state championship game from a year ago. Two different football teams, no doubt. Two teams that are both still kind of trying to find them. You look at Parish Episcopal's schedule, they beat Bishop Dunn, maybe not quite as handily as what they're doing right now to Bishop Lynch, but that was a 37-14 drubbing that Parish Episcopal put on Bishop Dunn last week. So as that pass is nearly intercepted but incomplete, diving for the catch was Bryson Boyette.
Better off that he didn't intercept it, actually, because the turnover on down
Exactly.
will give him, the ball back at midfield. I'm curious to see if Stone is coming out or if we're going to see a backup quarterback, Noah Love, coming in here.
Noah Love, also a key player on this football team on the defensive side of the ball, a starter at the cornerback position, and just a really good all-around football player, and that is indeed number 8, who you see walking out on the football field. And he'll handle the fourth quarter duties after Preston Stone racked up quite a few numbers this evening. Ends up with 5 total touchdowns, 4 through the air, and a rushing score, in leading his number 2 Parish Episcopal football team to a 6-1 record when this one is all said and done tonight. But Noah Love takes over, and he'll hand off to Cooper Mayland, who picks up maybe a half a yard on first down.
And I imagine we'll see a lot of the run game here, just to eat up that clock with the running clock throughout the fourth quarter now.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter at this point. You can run it, you can throw it, you can do whatever you want, and you'll still see that clock wind. So let's see, what time is it now? It is 9:25. The football game will end at 9:35. We can tell you that already. Is taken down in the backfield. Aiden Howard with the sack.
Love mishandled the snap there and he couldn't quite hold it as he drops it and just had nowhere to go.
Bounced it to himself.
Yeah. Love has only attempted 4 passes this year. He's 2 of 4 for 10 yards. I'm sure with a quarterback like Preston Stone ahead of him, he hasn't gotten many opportunities on the offensive side of the ball.
Third down and long here now after the bobble. He does complete it on the far side, though, and fighting his way close to a first down, and he may find that he's got it. Javon Battle out to the 40-yard line and right at the sticks. I think they're going to mark it at the 42, but yes, indeed, it is a first down on 3rd down and 14.
And Battle was about 3-4 yards shy when he caught that. That was just a lot of effort from him to get across the field and find some space to just get across for the first down.
1st and 10, here comes Love, who, by the way, is a captain of this football team, and finds deep downfield, wide open, touchdown, Javon Battle.
Wow.
60 on the board, although there is a flag down once again and a player down right next to it. It's Noah Love. He's back up on his feet now.
I'm guessing with him down in the flag in the vicinity, this might be a roughing the passer. Yeah.
Another flag down right at the goal line. That may have been, I wonder if the officials dropped the flag for any sort of celebration penalty at the very back end of that play, as Battle kind of sauntered his way into the end zone. So once again, as has been maybe the most common refrain this evening, other than perhaps Preston Stone touchdown, the officials are conferring.
I don't know if we can. It was very subtle, but I don't know if we can get a replay of this back judge here. He came in, and I think he was demonstrating what happened at the goal line. He kind of wiggled his hips a little to motion of the taunting or whatever went down at the end zone. I wish we could get a look at that. We do have the roughing the passer.
our feeds that we're watching the game right along with y'all on our phones, and saw the little hip wiggle from the back judge as here comes Noah Love, and you can see it kind of about to happen that he caught a face full of a defensive player as he released the football. Javon Battle on the receiving end, the sophomore wide receiver, into the end zone, but
I don't know if there was something out of the frame here. I didn't see anything from Battle there unless he said something. I saw him turn, his hips kind of wiggled as he turned to avoid the hit. Don't know if I saw anything that warranted a...
So what they're saying is the penalty against Javon Battle happened before he got into the end zone. So the touchdown is coming off the board. And he is going to obviously lose that touchdown as the clock continues to wind now here, under 7 minutes to play. See a little bit.
Yeah, there we got the replay.
God bless our crew. They got the replay of the hip swag, the little hip shake. That is fantastic.
Give these guys a raise.
That's the best thing that's happened tonight. Anyway, the touchdown comes off the board, and now here comes Parish Episcopal once again. They throw it on the far side, a little bit of a low throw, and that made things difficult for Episcopal to be able to pick up any speed there, as Bruce Mitchell was taken down after a pickup of about 2.
Well, Noah Love is still perfect through the air tonight, but unfortunately that touchdown called back. He's probably not going to get too many opportunities this year to throw any touchdown passes.
This time they hand it off up the middle. Short gain in the hands of Cedric Mays. That's a freshman running back out there on the field, trying to show a little bit of what he can do in garbage time. Midway through now this fourth quarter as the clock continues to wind. Running clock situation right now as it is a 40-point margin. Parish Episcopal about to move to 6-1 on the year. 2-0 in TAPS Division I District 2. Bishop Lynch will fall to 3-4, 0-1 in district play as Love rolls on the near side. Fires complete, but dragged down inside the 10-yard line is Gabe Grubbs. Third down and about 2 forthcoming. Beg your pardon, that was third down. This will be fourth down, and I'll call it 2. We'll stay out there with the offense and go for it here on fourth down and 2, up 40. And if there's a moment where you kind of have a little bit of a gut check for your pride, it's right now for this Bishop Lynch defense, having an offense go for it on 4th and 2 when they're up 40. Love rolling out in heavy pursuit, fires toward the end zone, and it's incomplete. And Bishop Lynch's defense does indeed make the stop here on 4th down. Once again, whistles and
stop the clock, I imagine.
An effort from the officials to stop the clock as the timeout is called by Bishop Lynch.
The clock does not continuously run on.
Well, no, I mean, you can certainly use a timeout if you so choose, and Bishop Lynch is elected to do that. 4:41 to play, fourth quarter. 54-14 the score, but I can certainly understand from Greg Price's perspective. Give your offense an opportunity to get down the field and see what they can do with one final drive and try and make something positive. There is still a season left to be played for this Bishop Lynch football team. They still have important games in front of them. Of course, as we mentioned just a little bit ago, a rematch of the state championship game from a year ago against Bishop Dunn 1 week from tonight. They've got Prestonwood Christian after that on the road, and then John Paul after that to wrap up the regular season. And then they go into the TAPS Division I playoffs, into the 15-team bracket. There's nothing to say that they can't turn things around. Yes, this will be a third consecutive loss for them. Yes, it's been perhaps a frustrating start to the season for Bishop Lynch. But you still got to play a season out, and you've got to try and make something of this. So why not try and find some positive here late in this football game?
Well, and especially if Blaine Ritter is going to be your starting quarterback going forward. We don't know what's going on with Michael Light, who started the game under center for Bishop Lynch tonight. He's in a hoodie on the sideline right now. It looks like he's, I can't quite tell. We can't fully see from here, but it looks like his right arm might be in some sort of sling or something. So if Blaine Ritter's your quarterback going forward, this is a great time to get him reps against a very good defense moving forward.
So here comes Ritter. He's got Luke Pacer.
Yeah, you can see Light right there in the middle of the blue hoodie of the screen right there, number 1. You can't see him turn around, but that right arm is under the jersey and has not moved at all.
Another flag flies in as the handoff goes to Luke Pacer. First time we're calling his name tonight, the junior running back. It was funny when we were talking with Greg Price earlier this week, and he was explaining to us as it's a penalty against Bishop Lynch, which will lead to a half the distance to the goal walk-off. Talking with Greg Price earlier this week about their offense and defense, talking about the special teams, and he mentioned in particular their kickoff return that they have Dylan Monsieur and Luke Pacer back to receive, and he said it's an all-French tandem in our kickoff return team with the two of them back there. And we get to see Pacer on the field now in the running back position as well, which he will do from time to time, spelling Darius Boyd and Isaiah Schmidtke. They go to the air there on 2nd down and long and pick up a few. Able to get it back to the original line of scrimmage to set up 3rd down and 10 as we're down to 3.5 to play here at Rufino Stadium.
Good to see Auger back on the field after that big hit a few minutes ago that took the wind out of him. Good to know that he's okay.
So this is the big question now going forward for Bishop Lynch. What can you do on 3rd and 10 with Blaine Ritter in there at quarterback? And he'd be the guy that gets you some progress through the air. Good ball on the outside there. Finds McLaughlin, taken down out of bounds short of the line to gain. But that is what they need in this Bishop Lynch Friars offense, is the ability to push the football down the field through the air. We've seen what Darius Boyd can do running the football tonight. Yes, nobody's more frustrated than number 24 with what he did in the early goings of this football game, putting the ball on the deck and setting up Parish Episcopal with short fields. That did not make their task any easier tonight, no doubt. But talented runner of the football that can help this team move the ball down the field on the offensive side, but they needed some help in the passing game. They've been struggling in the passing game. Perhaps Blaine Ritter can be that guy to jumpstart what they can do through the air and give Darius Boyd in the run game a little bit of help. But they're going to punt the ball away here in the final 2 minutes of the football, or the final 2.5 minutes of the football game, and that punt goes out of bounds after not going very far. Fabian Gutierrez kicking it to the near side, and it goes out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. The 29, it appears, is where they've marked it off, and that's where we'll see Noah Love and company once more as the clock is ticked under 2 minutes to play.
And this is just the first district game of the year for Bishop Lynch. It's the second for Parish, but the first for Bishop Lynch, and they start district with possibly the best team in the state. There's reasons to be optimistic the rest of the way going forward. I mean, it's going to be hard to see a team that's this good. And, you know, they played with Trinity Cedar Hill earlier in the year. The first game of the year, they only lost by 3, and that's, as you said, the #1 team in the state right now, according to Max Preps. And so there's reasons to be optimistic for Bishop Lynch. They just did not put the pieces together tonight, but they can't hang their heads because this is the first district game. They got 3 more after this to try and close out the season and get some momentum going into postseason.
Just a little over a minute to play here in the final quarter as Noah Love took 1 knee. He'll take 1 more, and that'll be all this game will require. As Parish Episcopal set to move to 6-1 on the season, 2-0 in district play. Depending on when they actually start the play clock, they may need 1 more kneel down. They will not. They just reset the play clock twice real quick, and That will be all this game requires. 54-14 the final score. The number 2 team in the state on the private school scene, Parish Episcopal, shows us why. A dominant performance on the road. And they move to 6-1 on the year.
Yeah, just an all-around great performance, as Coach Price from Bishop Lynch said. There are no glaring weaknesses from Parish Episcopal.
Forget glaring weaknesses. There are no weaknesses.
None, period. Yeah, and I mean, when you can have your quarterback, Preston Stone, the number 1 dual threat quarterback in the recruit in the country, when you can have him out of the game by the 4th quarter, things are going well for you. And he had a huge night. Defense had a good night, forcing three fumbles. Special teams stepped up with a kick return, and just all around good night from Parish Episcopal. Bishop Lynch, this is a hard one to take, but they've got to bounce back. They got a rematch of that state championship next week against Bishop Dunn, which I will not be here, but we, WFA, will be right back out here next week for that state championship rematch.
We will indeed. You mentioned the importance of this win within the district for Parish Episcopal. They moved to 2-0 in district play. They moved to 6-1 overall. And next week, they play at Prestonwood Christian, which right now would appear to be your district championship game. Prestonwood off to a 1-0 start in district play with their win over John Paul a week ago. They have Parish Episcopal 1 week from today. They're off this evening, and then they have Bishop Lynch and Bishop Dunn after that. But with the way that we've seen this season play out so far, and given that Parish already has wins over Dunn and Lynch, the other 2 contenders in district, the only team that really has any sort of chance to chase them down is Prestonwood Christian if they can win that game 1 week from today. I wish them the best of luck. This Parish team is really, really good.
The good news for Prestonwood is they have the off week to prepare, but then again, Bishop Lynch had the off week.
Yes, they did.
To prepare, and we saw what happened tonight after that.
I mean, talking with Greg Price over the course of this week, he mentioned that in a lot of ways this could have been considered the district championship game because again, the loss for Bishop Dunn to this Parish Episcopal team. You could make the argument, depending on how you feel about Prestonwood Christian as a football team, that really the only 2 teams that had a chance to chase down Parish were either Lynch or Dunn. Clearly, neither was able to do so. We'll see if Prestonwood Christian will have any more success than Lynch and Dunn have had over the course of the last 2 weeks. But again, Parish Episcopal, a very, very good football team. So good luck to the folks at Prestonwood because that's going to be a tough matchup. For Lynch, next week against Bishop Dunn, certainly an important football game in terms of where they slot in the playoff standings, in the playoff bracket. Bishop Dunn also struggled mightily with this Parish Episcopal football team just 1 week ago today. So perhaps that's a more even matchup, Lynch and Dunn. Again, 2 teams that were playing for a state title a year ago. Both teams have lost a decent bit from those football teams, to be sure. But battling for position within this district and trying to figure out where they're going to slide in to the TAPS Division I playoff structure.
Yeah, Coach Novikov for Parish Episcopal said that Preston Stone each of the last 2 years has kind of torn up that defense for Bishop Dunn. 300 yards last year, 245 this year, 22 of 26 in that last game against Bishop Dunn. That just shows you how good this is because, as he said, teams don't do that to Bishop Dunn. That defense is lights out year in and year out, and that's going to, if that's the case, if that defense is good again from Dunn, Bishop Lynch is going to have to work on stuff this week, especially if Blaine Ritter's their quarterback moving forward. They've got to get that.
You've got to figure out what that offense
going.
Looks like.
Yeah, you cannot be one-dimensional and just rely on Boyd in the backfield. I mean, he is a workhorse, and he's over 1,000 yards for the season through just 7 games. But you have got to become more than one-dimensional if you want to make it farther in the playoffs and try to get back to that state championship.
5 total touchdowns for Preston Stone tonight. He lived up to the billing in every possible way.
Yeah, then completed his first 11 passes of the game. I mean, he can make every throw, the deep throws, the short throws, and it's not just him making the throws, it's him seeing them as they're developing and putting the ball in the air and expecting his receivers to be there. And like that last touchdown we saw where the offense floated to the far side, and I mean, he knew what was going to open up.
Of course.
And he came back and made a perfect throw back across his body, back across the field. He made all the throws he needed to make, and just a display of why he is the top dual threat quarterback recruit in the country.
And as you mentioned, dual threat, to me the most impressive touchdown he had all night was the 38-yard touchdown run back in the first quarter. That made it 20-0 in the early going, and in a lot of ways was a backbreaker because it came off of a second straight fumble by this Bishop Lynch offense. They turned the first one into a 27-yard touchdown pass from Stone to a wide-open Caleb Culp to make it 13-0. Bishop Lynch gets the football back, puts it on the deck yet again, and that sets up Stone on the very first play of that drive as well. A 38-yard touchdown run, weaving his way through the defense, cutting back, a hesitation move inside the 5-yard line that lets some traffic fly in front of him and clear, and then a dive into the end zone. A very, very impressive run that made it 20-0. And then, just for good measure, he had two more passing touchdowns in addition to that over the course of the rest of the night. 5 in total, four passing TDs and a rushing score, and a 54-14 win.
And he's only a junior. He's still got one more year after
That's
this.
the crazy part. The touchdown total all by itself, he had 20 coming into this evening total. 17 passing and 3 rushing. He now has 25 in total. You add that to 53 a year ago. That's 88 in 2 years. And he had 33 as a freshman. 27 passing touchdowns and 4 rushing scores. So trying to do the math real quick, is that 121? 121 touchdowns in a little more than 2.5 football seasons as a freshman, sophomore, and junior. The kid is ridiculous.
He's all right. You know.
Tonight, it was 5 touchdowns for him in a 54-14 win for Parish Episcopal at Bishop Dunn on their homecoming. And Parish Episcopal moves to 6-1 on the year. Bishop Dunn falls to 3-4. Our thanks to the athletic directors from both of these programs for their help over the course of this week. Brett McCabe and Ahmad Ajami from Parish Episcopal, and Greg Price, of course, the head coach, also the athletic director at Bishop Lynch. Their help, Daniel Novikov, the head coach at Parish Episcopal as well. The help from all these gentlemen to make this broadcast happen. Believe me, without their help, it does not happen, so thank you to each of them. We also want to thank our sponsors this evening, Texas Health Resources. Our engineers are Don Hazen and Dode Bigley. Our photographer is Ian Gordon, and our director is Raul Garcia. Our digital coordinator back in Dallas is Nick Blackhall, and our executive producer is Sean Hamilton. For Sean Giggy here with me in the booth, I'm Mike Leslie. Thanks so much for watching tonight. Your final score one last time. Parish Episcopal knocks off Bishop Lynch 54-14 as the number 2 team in the state on the private school scene. Shows off why. We'll see you next week on yet another special Friday night edition of Thursday Night Lights from right here at Rufino Stadium. Bishop Lynch and Bishop Dunn in a rematch of last year's TAPS Division I state championship game. Friday night at 7 o'clock. We hope to see you then. So long from Rufino, everyone. We'll see you next week.